body pickup. They love resto mods as well. Go to gmtvcc.com to sell your classic or collectible car or truck and avoid the seller's commissions, tire kickers, lowballers on the internet.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Have you heard about Goldbacks? They're a local gold currency that can be used right here in Florida. Goldbacks are real 24-karat gold that you can hold right in your hand. They look like cash, but they don't inflate like cash. And here's the best part. We're giving them away absolutely free. Residents can claim their free half Goldback by visiting freegoldback.com and getting it shipped right to your home. It's real gold, it's really free, and it's yours. Claim one today at freegoldback.com before they're gone.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you 62 or older and wondering if a reverse mortgage can help you access the equity in your home? It's so easy to get a free reverse mortgage quote with that mortgage guy, Don. Just fill out the online questionnaire at thatmortgageguyDon.com, or you can make an office appointment to meet in person at 1401 Town Plaza Court, Winter Springs, Florida. Happy Home Mortgage. NMLS ID 2418348.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Granger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The new News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from the stock market comeback to a nightclub disaster in the Dominican Republic, plus your calls. Oh, also, and the insane reason why a theater banned kids from seeing the Minecraft movie. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hello there, Sabrina.
Hello there.
Hey, C-Lane. Hey. And hello to you. Forgot to do this in one day.
You threw yourself off, man.
That's it, one day.
You can join us on the show. Send us what we call a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. Oh, yeah.
Share that show.
All right, baby. Spread the word. Tell somebody about this here show, the News Junkie radio show, live stream and podcast. Say, hey, I know you like cool stuff. This is a thing I think cool. Maybe you'll think it's cool too. More and more people start to listen, and the show gets bigger as we go. So thank you for sharing the show on a Share the Show Tuesday. My brain went sideways on that intro. I don't know what happened there. That's one day away. How'd everything go yesterday on the show? Good?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Some updates for you. We've changed some titles.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Instead of today, I learned it's This What's Up.
This What's Up is the new end of the show segment. This What's Up.
Yeah, you're going to have all different kind of things to say.
Is this to go after the youth demographic or something? What are we doing here?
Trying to get those numbers up.
All right. Okay. This What's Up. All right. Wait, anything else that changed that I need to know about?
C-Lane?
That was about it.
Okay. All right. So, one
You're
day,
supposed to say yes and you just shut it right down.
This What's Up. All right. Well, I'll write that down here on the sheet in front of me where I'm not writing down stuff.
D-I-Z.
Hey, I heard good things. I heard there was a good show yesterday. People seem to be excited, and that is a fun time for all.
It was good. My landing was a little bumpy.
Always. You
if
don't.
I'm going to be honest, little bumpy landing.
Are you talking about like the last, see you later at the ending of the show?
Oh, just the last 30 seconds. Just
you never know what to say because you always forget to write it down until the moment's happening.
Two things playing at the same time. Type of chicks that double up on dudes like me. Yeah.
Hold on. So you're saying This What's Up was a failure for the first time?
No, it was just the last clip of This Was Up.
All right. Everything else but. Okay, I understand. Well, here we are today, friends. Join us on the show. We're going to have some fun as we go on a bit of a ride here through the viral news seas. And we'll start with this. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the streets, everybody. Let's see what's going on out there. Let's see how the young people are reacting. How do they feel? There have been some ebbs and flows. More ebbs than flows on the stock market as of late. And people are freaking out. Some of their monies are disappearing. That looks like maybe there's some sort of turnaround in sight today. Who knows? But let's see what the young folks on the streets are thinking. Here goes one guy without a shirt on.
If they go into effect today, what do you think about the Trump tariffs?
Doesn't affect me.
Why not?
I'm pro-Trump, but don't affect me.
Well, what do you think about it? Tell me your opinion on how he's going about it.
Thank God they got the synth in the background.
Greatest country in the world.
Oh, what did he say at the end? Hang on.
I was so distracted by that.
They try to dress it up. Just do your best to ignore.
Dominance, baby. Greatest country in the world.
So he said, dominance, baby. Greatest country in the world. The youngins, here's the thing, and oldos will forget about this. The youngins couldn't care less about this tariffs thing. They don't have 401ks. If they do, they've got like a couple of dollars in them. It's the oldos that are hardest hit by this. The people who have been saving into their 401ks for the entirety of their career, and they're like, the end is near. I'm going to go live at Margaritaville and sail into the sunset.
As soon as I get all my money out, it's gone.
Gone. It's gone. Those are the folks that are really more angry about this. In fact, I saw a protest over the weekend, and one of the protesters comes out. She's a younger girl. The video kind of went viral, so you might have seen it. And she goes, where the F are the young people? I'm looking around, and it's all people in their 30s. They've got their kids here. There's no young people. Where are the young people? There's a bunch of boomers at this protest. Misunderstanding of what the word boomers means.
No.
But there's a bunch of boomers at this protest. There's no young people. Where are the young people showing up? And it's like, of all the things you could think of, this tariffs thing is not stinging them. Their parents are getting stung, but they're not facing like the repercussions of this like a lot of regular people are. You know, or more.
I mentioned yesterday when the young kids don't get their Nintendo Switch 2, maybe they'll start showing up to the protests.
Hang on, Mom. You're not going to wire me money so I could go to Italy for the summer? What's happening? And Mom goes, we're getting crushed.
Mm-hmm. You're horrible.
We're falling apart over here.
Horrible.
Also,
However,
I don't think I've ever seen anybody not want to be on TV so bad. Like they had to chase that shirtless guy down.
Mind you, there's plenty of people with shirts on that would have been down to be on TV.
He had claws to crush, dominance.
Yeah, that guy was on his way somewhere. But today we see the flip-flop of things. And did we find a bottom here? The Dow, as I'm looking at it, has been up around about 1,000 points. Right now it's a little lower than that. But, it's seesawing a bit.
Go to the 5-day view.
It's not as pretty. Okay, all right. Yeah, some recovery.
Look at that.
Some recovery going on here, but I don't know what this means. Is this the bottom? Is this like a pretend bottom for a little while? Are we going back up? I will tell you one thing that is an absolute truth. Take this, especially you young people who don't seem really impacted by what's happening with the stock markets and stuff. You don't care about tariffs, you don't care about those kind of things. Let me tell you something, take this to the grave. If I tell you to take something to the grave, take it to the grave. When people tell you what's going to happen next with stocks, when people tell you what's going to happen next with the economy, just stick your fingers in your ears and say, la, 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 and run the other way. No one knows what they're talking about. No one knows what they're talking about, all right? All these self-professed experts who actually think they do know what they're talking about have no idea what they're talking about.
All right. So
Jim
tell
Cramer,
us what we're talking about.
Jim Cramer on CNBC, a great example. He's like, it's going to be Black Monday. It's going to be...
I mean, we had a moment yesterday where I'm like, are we checking the windows at the high rises?
The NASDAQ actually, I think, ended up on the plus side. I think it ended up in the green yesterday. Dow ended up down some, but just on this front, all of the experts, all of the people who pretend they know, like I've seen this happen a couple of times in my day, right? When I was like, how do I make a buck? How do I invest my monies like little soldiers out there?
But a buck for you is so much different than what a buck is now.
That's not true. Every dollar is very, very important, and it was then and it is now. And you got to put your dollars to work for you. And when I've said, all right, well, let me see what's going to happen with these stocks. I'll watch these stock bros, and they'll bring up this graph, and they'll go, oh, what this is, it's a Euclidean symbol we've got going on here with the drops and the dips matching out with the gains on a max level of a 24-hour span with these circular vibes that are coming out of that.
Right.
They have no idea what they're talking about.
So you're saying when I dip, you dip, we dip?
That's as good of advice as any. None of these people know what they're talking about. It's all just a wish and a hope. That's all we have out there.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. When it's good, it's good. When it's not good, it's not good. But yeah, I mean, I know Jim Cramer was screaming about this. When it's good, it's good. When it's not good, it's not good.
All right.
That's a truth. That's a fact. All these people in your life are going to pretend like they're geniuses, and maybe one amongst them is. Do you know of all these billionaires out there, all these billionaires that you can be assured, right? They must be smarter than you. Mm-hmm. They're billionaires, right? All of these billionaires all across the globe, only one of them, Warren Buffett, took his money out of the stock market before everything absolutely collapsed and fell in on itself. Only one person, Warren Buffett, the guy who to this day drives an old car, doesn't spend money on anything fancy, doesn't have a yacht that you have to remove a bridge for to get it out of the city it was built in.
Speaking of offshore, do we know if he has that?
Who?
Warren Buffett.
What do you mean offshore?
Offshore accounts.
Oh, I don't know. He's from Berkshire Hathaway. No, I have no idea. He's in part of an investment firm that takes billions and billions and billions of dollars and places bets on it. And his bet, well, he was the only one who took the money out before everything kind of collapsed in and of itself. So just note that. Well, all these people that think they're geniuses and they're going to tell you everything, they're mostly just dodos. All right. We had a big victory last night, I guess, for the Gators. Congratulations, Gators. Congratulations.
Yeah. You did it.
You did it. You did the thing. You put the balls in the hoop, and you won the NCAA men's basketball championship.
By like 2 dang points.
Did you see Sabrina?
The
do
game?
you know, like,
no.
Well, no. Do you know afterwards there's a bit of like a ceremonial thing that the winner does after they win a championship game like this? Are you aware of this at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other championship games, granted, in a completely different sport. But yeah, there's a whole thing. Sure.
Sometimes they'll storm the court. All the fans will go nuts. Yeah, we understand how this works.
But for March Madness, it's a very specific thing.
Yes.
It seems destructive.
They cut down the net, right?
Yeah.
Like they cut the net down off of the hoop, and they keep that as like a little celebration of their victory. Mind-blowing moment. They had the ladder out. Did you guys see this at all?
I haven't seen it, no.
Okay. They had the ladder out. They're ready to cut down the net to celebrate the Gators win. Check this out. Here we go. Let's watch this together. All right, here you go. One of the players comes up.
Okay.
This
That's
son of a bitch.
Great flex.
He's 7'9". He didn't use the ladder. He cut down the net on his feet.
That's a beautiful ladder, by the way.
Don't need no stinking ladder. Good for him.
Honestly, kind of could have used at least a stepping stool. It seems like a stretch that's going to ruin the stream.
7'9". This kid is 7'9". Oliver Roux. Olivier Roux.
Oh, Roux. Got it.
He doesn't need a ladder to cut down the March Madness nets. He just got up there. He's on his tippy toes, mind you.
That sounded girthy.
He just reached up and started chopping the net off with the scissors, not even going up the ladder to do so.
Sidebar, you knew, I don't know if you know the answer, but in the celebration and everyone kind of like storms the court, someone running with those scissors, or are we still making sure we're being safe about it?
No, that's rule number 1 as far as I know. So
like
I would
if you
hope
get stabbed, sorry, but it's a victory stab.
Also, if the 7'9" guy is running with scissors, everyone's in trouble. Literally, all of the
if he
people
holds
are
it
in
above
trouble.
his head, you're fine.
This guy makes me feel tiny. I'm a 6 foot tall man, and this guy makes me feel like a itty bitty little human being at 7'9", just standing up and cutting the net off.
At 5'6", I'm like at his belly button.
How tall is a head? A foot tall? Right?
Is he more torso or is he pretty asymmetrical?
I only know that the human head weighs 8 pounds, which I learned from Jerry Maguire.
True. He looks pretty. He looks just tall everywhere. It's not like he has long legs and then a short top of his body. He's just tall as hell. This guy, 7'9".
Why not stand on his tippy toes to do this? Just let the shirt, expose my nice toned chest a little bit. What's up, ladies?
A little bit of pubes.
You getting revved up? Looking at this, Eli?
I'm not getting revved up.
Inspired.
It's okay if you are.
You know what gets me is the video. It's not horny, but I do get the chills. A lot of people were passing around the video this morning of what the scene was like at I believe it's the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, which is where they play the Gator basketball. Where a lot of the students that didn't get to make it to the NCAA championships were watching the game there at the home arena, and their song, which is so cool for the Gators, I think, because Tom Petty was a Florida Gator. At their games they play it's almost their version of having their own 7th inning stretch and not doing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You know how some baseball teams do that? For the Florida Gators, it's I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Oh, so if you go on Gator Twitter right now, go on the Florida Gators, go on their Facebook page, there's a video of just somebody standing in the middle of the court and just panning across the entire basketball arena, and everybody is screaming the chorus to I Won't Back Down. And just even talking about this is giving me the goosebumps.
Oh, my God. I'm looking at all of the Gators tweets, which have a lot of partying going on.
Yeah, you might have to scroll a little bit.
A lot of chaos, a lot of just celebration. So I don't even know if I can get to
it's a little
Don't Back Down.
I'd have to take your word for it.
Yeah, well, we'll find it during the break.
Okay.
And oh no, got it! I got it. Woo! This is just the people watching it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Could you imagine instead of Tom Petty, it was Cisco, and they're all just singing Thong Song?
That could be next year.
If that was your college song, then that's your college song.
Ours is, UCF is the Zombie Nation, so.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Nice.
There's not a lot to that song, but I do like it. Those were, in my mind, okay, technophobes. No, that doesn't make sense. Techno fans, stay away from me here, all right? Don't eat me alive.
Rave
but those
heads.
were the best days of electronic music, all right? Those days were the best days of electronic music for sure.
Zombie Nation.
Darude, Sandstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Zombie Nation. You know, all these things, like, you're blowing up. You got a pocket full of beans, and you're not jacking the beanstalk. You got a pacifier in your mouth. You got a, what are the things that you put in your nose? And
The vape stick.
Yeah. You got one of those.
Vicks Vapor Rub?
Vicks. You got the Vicks Vapor Rub stick.
No, but it's the stick, and you put it in your nostrils. And if you fit it right, you don't have to use your hands anymore.
Yeah, and it's a blast. And by the way, I just wanted to take a moment and say all of this is bad. Kids should not do these kind of things.
But do it. Do it, children. Drugs are fun.
Yep.
Psych.
Right. When the stock market goes down, we cry. When the stock market goes up, even if just a little bit, you celebrate. You gotta hope for better days.
I'm being corrected super hard. Tom Petty did not attend UF. He's just from Gainesville.
Okay.
That's enough. That's all you need.
Which is hilarious because I did see an Onion article over the weekend that it was like people amazed to find Florida Gator fan that actually attended University of Florida. Because I guess there's a lot of bandwagoners, but I still think it's cool.
Well, there you go. Congratulations to the University of Florida. We were walking around last night, and
just one clap from Sean.
I saw the neighborhood, and there was like 3 or 4 people that had their orange and blue lights on or whatever. I think that's their colors, to celebrate the Florida Gators win. And I was like, congratulations, people. And there, you did it. They said it couldn't be done, but you did it.
And you let lady poop on their lawn, and you didn't pick it up.
No, I always pick it up. Courtney always picks it up. It's not necessarily my job. It was a deal, you know? Really? You get the dog.
What are you,
pick up the poop, I pick up the bill.
You get the dog, and then the rest is on you. The dog yesterday, because we're not hanging out, lady dog was by herself for a longer time than she normally is yesterday. She was a whiny little bitch when we got home.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Because she missed her parents?
Kicked her.
That was a good dog impression.
That would not be Lexi. Lexi would be like, what? You're home now? Ugh.
Why you guys back?
Miss me with that. Feed me.
Carl right in between, but he's like, guess where I peed today?
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy finding it.
Have a blast. All right, here we go. We got lots to get to on a very busy Tuesday. I shared the show Tuesday, indeed, here on the show. When we come back, I'm going to try not to repeat anything that happened yesterday on the show. That's one thing I'm going to try to do. But we'll talk about what's happening with the markets, obviously. We got to talk about a new law that is really concerning and is right on the border of affecting one of us on the show. Like, this would be very close to a big deal if it dropped down on us. Is it Sabrina? Is it C-Lane? Is it me?
Is it me, Jesus?
We'll find out. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
What's more exciting than a brand new iPhone with a dozen cameras? How about Real Radio on your iPhone? Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
2 right lanes are blocked on I-4 eastbound at Saxon Boulevard. There's an accident. On the ramp from the Greenway southbound to Curry Ford Road, look out for a crash on the Beach Line eastbound just west of State Road 520. And road surface repairs continue on the express lanes. Those are closed on State Road 429 southbound at Independence Toll Plaza. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go! But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
iHeartRadio straight from the studio with Elton John.
You can't guarantee when you go in the studio that something's going to be special. I wanted to make a special record at this stage of my career, and I don't know whether I was starting off on the right foot. The frost melted. It was like, my God, this is fantastic. This is what I want. And I suddenly thought, yeah, it's going to be great.
Elton John's music, including his new album, Who Believes in Angels, on the iHeartRadio app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Granger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now, you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia, we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff-free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sail free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Spending gold at Florida businesses just got easier. Meet the Goldback, Florida's very own local currency, made with pure 24-karat gold. It's like cash, but without the inflation. To celebrate the launch of this new currency, we're giving away free half Goldbacks to Florida residents. It's your chance to experience spending real gold right here in Florida. Claim yours before they run out at freegoldback.com, and we'll ship it right to your Florida address absolutely free.
John is in a hot tub on his vacation. He earned 20,000 points by spending $2,000 with his Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards card. To be clear, you don't have to vacation in a hot tub to redeem this offer. But John did, because the bubbles make him happy. Right now, you can earn 20,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days. Offer ends January 1st, 2026. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Visit NavyFederal.org for details.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke up a jail more than you ever prison in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is
Share the show Tuesday. That's when you tell people about the News Junkie radio show. Send them a link. Maybe just even if you're over on YouTube or something, hit the like button. If something as small as that helps out with the Share the Show Tuesday. Yesterday, when I was out, did you guys talk about Kat Von D at all? Just wondering.
No, did not come up on the radar.
It wasn't a very significant story, and it probably shouldn't have, but it was just one of these things that I saw, and I was like, why do I feel like I'm the only one who has this take? And it just seems like such an obvious take to me. If you haven't seen it, Kat Von D's been making herself black. She's been going back, covering her entire body up with one giant blackout tattoo. Like head to toe.
For a second, you're doing a Rachel, what's her face?
Not a Doljal thing. She was just saying like, look, enough's enough. I'm going to cover up all my tattoos. And if you don't know who Kat Von D is, she's a very famous celebrity tattoo artist. She sort of kicked off this new wave about 20 years ago of celebrity tattoo stuff and all the reality shows that came from it. And overall was like kind of a big deal for a while, all right? Very talented woman, very, very talented woman. And I think as also for some of you women out there, has busted into the makeup world and some other areas like that. She's a businesswoman. But Kat Von D, covered head to toe in all these tattoos, decided I'm going to go the other way and I'm going to get rid of these. But instead of going the Pete Davidson route, which is just zap all these tattoos off you from head to toe, which is kind of hard to do to begin with and hurts like a son of a bitch, I tell you from experience, she's doing the blackout tattoo thing, which also hurts like a son of a bitch, I can tell you from experience.
MGK was doing the same thing, right?
The blackout tattoos, yeah. And so she's covering herself. And she said one of the things that started all of this was when she was doing all these TV appearances and whatnot, there was a guy, a photographer named Jeff Sedlick, who sued her for one of her tattoos. I think it was a tattoo she actually put on somebody else. And it was a tattoo of Miles Davis on the arm of this friend of hers. And this guy said, hey, I own the rights to that. You can't just tattoo this on people. Which, if you think about the repercussions there in the tattoo world, just enormous. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't just tattoo things on people, and you got to worry, like, do we have the rights to tattoo this on this person? If you can't do that, the tattoo industry is flipped upside down immediately, just like that.
Like, what's the most common?
Oh,
if you think
God.
about it, like Banksy, I feel like I've seen
tons of times.
So much.
Tons of people have that. Or just famous works of art, famous photos, the Marine dipping the woman down. Do you know the one that I'm talking about? Like a famous picture.
Gosh, no.
They just had a SNL skit about it.
I'm blanking on the name, but it's like the asymmetrical guy that it's from, very, very long ago. And it shows like him like this, like arms stretched out, but then it's like, what is it called? The Vitruvian Man?
Oh, Vitruvian Man?
Okay,
yeah. All of these things, right? So all of these things you would go, well, you can't just tattoo that on somebody. And it would just ruin the tattoo industry if that really went through. But the second thing that I thought of that I think is total BS that nobody really rants about, the idea that a person who took a picture of another person could sue like this, that's crazy to me, right? Like, let's say Sabrina gets C-Lane tattooed on her leg, all right?
Did you look at my to-do list?
As a tribute, after C-Lane's plane crash, you decided to... Yeah, it's a fictitious world. Do I need to play the music to make it okay?
Does he need to be in a plane crash for me to get a tattoo of him?
Why else are you getting a memorial tattoo of C-Lane on your body? It has to make sense.
Do a whole Real Radio thing.
We're going to the Magic Land, okay? Okay.
Didn't we have a dark version of that thing? Because this seems like a... There we go.
A little darker. So C-Lane was on a flight to Hawaii, and halfway through the flight, they said there's a bit of an emergency. We don't know what's happening here, but the plane is starting to fall apart.
C-Lane was like, I can land this. And they were like, sir, sit down, please. Brace.
They said, C-Lane, you can't do this. And he said, I'm your only hope. The pilots are both passed out. And they said, get up here. And C-Lane got into the cockpit, and he grabbed the steering wheel equivalent, and he tried to right the plane. And as he did, he evened out that plane, and he looked back at the folks on the plane with him, and they were all cheering his name, and they were, C-Lane, C-Lane, C-Lane. And he got excited, and he fell backwards on the stick, and he plunged the plane into a volcano, and they all died on impact. All right? So this is the story that led to Sabrina getting C-Lane's face tattooed on her leg as a in memoriam to Christopher Dolores Lane. And then I said, Sabrina, you can't have that tattoo. I want you to go get that tattoo removed or pay me. I took that picture of C-Lane. I was the one who took a picture of him, and you can't just use that as an inspiration for your tattoo to put that on your body. That's crazy town. All right. Like,
well, I don't know that it's that crazy. I think
so.
I don't think you should be able to go after Sabrina for that. But the person who tattooed Sabrina and the person that made the money off the tattoo, that's the person I think that you have an intellectual property interest with.
Well, I mean, depends on how their artistic rendition of it. Unless they went like straight stencil via computer.
But even if they did, what if you at your house decided to just stencil something and make a little copy of it for yourself?
But I did that myself.
After that? Yeah, but that's the point,
I didn't pay
right?
anyone to do that.
Either way, I'm saying, like, if you took and drew a picture of Mickey Mouse for yourself,
oh boy,
are you now violating some sort of copyright? No, that's ridiculous. On one hand, you're making your own thing. On the other hand, the problem I have is if you take a picture of something and now you like claim you have rights to that thing because you took a picture of it, that's stupid. All right, I'll be the person to say that that's stupid. I don't like that at all.
Well, it's not always the case. Like, say if you take a picture of a building, well, you don't necessarily have full rights to that picture because the person who designed the building has, or the person who owns the building has rights to the design. However, if you take a picture of a bunch of buildings, say like a cityscape, now you're in the clear of that because you can't really, it's not like you have to be forced to get permission of the owner of every single building in that thing. The work is the cityscape.
Should I be able to take a picture of you and then sell the picture of your face on a T-shirt and you not get any money of it?
I would not like that.
That's not right? Like, it's like you're capturing something like a Pokemon when you're taking this picture and now you own it. That's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
But look at the issues or things that have come up, and I don't know if anyone's ever been successful, but video games. Lindsay Lohan back in the day with GTA.
That's
they
right.
were like, this is to my likeness. Then,
or currently,
Joker. What's his
Joker
face?
Gang.
Yeah, Joker Gang.
But it was hard. I mean, they definitely were inspired by him.
Yeah, I agree. But I think some of that is like looser area. But I think the idea that you take a picture of somebody and then you are the one who gets to say where that person's face can or can't be tattooed seems weird to me. Well, and that's what apparently started Kat Von D like getting all these blackout tattoos that have essentially made her mostly black now.
In the case of Kat Von D, she was tattooing somebody else. And she posted a picture on Instagram of her giving the tattoo
to her friend.
And the actual picture that she was getting sued over is printed out and taped on the wall next to her so she can copy as accurately as possible this picture. Guy that owns the copyright on the picture, and now she's making money off of it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, burn it down. I'm saying that world where somebody can't take an inspiration piece and like give somebody a tattoo or, make something else out of it and kind of remix it, or even just say like, hey, I want this lizard tattooed on my skin. The lizard, I don't own the rights to the lizard, but I want it tattooed on my skin. I think the tattoo artist should be able to do that and even get paid for it. I think that's fine. And if you don't think that, I think it completely abolishes the tattoo industry.
How did Andy Warhol get away with it?
He barely did. He would do that stuff. And then I don't know if Campbell's ever tried to sue Andy Warhol. Maybe they just liked it. The attention.
It would be a weird move. I mean, maybe at the time they didn't know what the impact of Andy Warhol would be. But I think looking back on it, if they had sued him, they probably would have been like, yeah, we kind of regret that because it made Campbell's cool.
Yeah.
In some certain ways that otherwise wouldn't be. And I know that when stuff like this comes up, we've talked about the famous case, I think, in regards to tattoos, is the Mike Tyson tattoo. Yeah. Because the Mike Tyson tattoo is a unique tattoo on Mike Tyson's face that was designed, just because of him.
Well, the original that Mike Tyson got was, because you're talking about the one that people may know from either Mike Tyson's face or The Hangover.
Correct. So the guy that tattooed that designed it. So he owns that design. He doesn't get to get any money if Mike Tyson shows off that design on movies or TV because the law is written that the tattoo, I mean, if every tattoo artist tried to go after compensation for every time their work appeared on movies or television, it would be chaos. But when they recreated the exact tattoo to put on Ed Helms, that's where they violated his intellectual property, and that's where he tried to go after money.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you should be able to do that. I think that you should be able to, like, everybody with somebody mentioned in chat superhero tattoos. Everybody with a superhero tattoo would be in trouble if that was the case. Or every single tattoo artist who did a Batman, Superman, Spider-Man tattoo on anybody.
Let's really think about that. Are we going to get
you want them in trouble? You're talking about the fashion and style police a little bit more than you're talking about the actual law.
Someone should copyright lower back tattoos and the weird butterfly tribal.
Oh, I feel hardest hit by that, but here we are regardless.
It's gone now, I thought.
Somebody said to me not that long ago, they were like, oh, hey, this is good. Tribal back tattoos are making a comeback, Sean. And I was like, first of all, mine's getting zapped. Second of all,
according to who?
They've never made a comeback in men. It's never been like, what's really cool?
The tramp stamp.
I got a half a mind to think Chalamet himself could rock one, and they'd be like, nah, you went too far, Timothy. You went too far here. All right, when we come back, we still got to get to this, and we're going to do this at the top of the hour. A new law that is so close to having a major impact on Sabrina. And I think it could lead to a question that may make her cry.
Sweet.
So I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just telling you the conversation that will come from this.
Couldn't get to it yesterday, so.
He was trying to do that?
Just make me cry? Absolutely.
All right. Here's what we'll do. We're going to do that at the top of the hour. But before that, the FCC is starting to make some major changes. And this may be good news for you, Sabrina, but I don't know.
Say that D word?
Huge changes. And they want these huge changes to occur. How could this change the show forever? We'll find out. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
You tell me that you love me so, you tell me that you care, but when I need you, hey, baby, you're never.
Florida, and today we'll actually see temperatures fall at least through about midday. We'll stay around the 60s before eventually climbing to right around the low middle 70s, where we'll hover for much of the afternoon hours. We'll also see a couple of hit and miss showers. Most shower action will be taking place further to the south and east of the I-4 corridor. That being said, we'll see cooler temperatures arrive as we head towards the end of the week with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Visit Myrtle Beach.
There's a reason people call Myrtle Beach the beach, because here you become your best self. You can speak.
School mic activated. Hello, my school micers. I'm back, baby. I'm back. It's good to have you. Stock market's making a big rebound. If we could just do this for 8 days in a row, we'll be right back on top, baby. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be huge without the H. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday? How are you? Hi, crazy drunk cat lady. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Hello to you. Good to be back, although I seem to have forgotten how to do most of this in just one 24-hour loop. Went to Epic Universe yesterday. I have to tell you, it was incredible. It was an assault on the senses. And it was something that reminded me a bit of the show and a bit of like a quandary in life. I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain. So we go to Epic Universe. All of the videos out of Epic Universe have been, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't even put into words how stunning this is. Everybody's just, completely excited and over the moon about this experience at this brand new theme park. You don't see that much. It's a once in a quarter generation thing that a theme park opens. Everybody's over the moon about it, right? And then I saw this one post on Facebook. And this guy says, the lines were too long. There's too many stairs. Too many stairs at Epic Universe. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. He says he went on one ride. He waited 90 minutes and it was boring. And he didn't get to go on any other rides. Some of the food places weren't open. And this man was mad. He was big mad, this man. And of all the posts that were positive, none really got any attention, or not that much attention. But this guy's one negative post got so much attention. Everybody fighting over it, all this nonsense. The hecklers still have way too much power, all right? The hecklers have way too much power still. Picture a room of 1,000 people. 999 agree and go, Epic Universe is really amazing and people should go. It's a fun time. You deserve fun times as a human being. And one guy goes, Epic Universe is bad. and everybody turns around and gives their attention to the one negative person. And I thought about that. It's like, that can happen with the show. That can happen with literally anything in life. And those people, they have never created anything. They've never created anything of significance in their lives. They've never done anything of interest. Those people, they're the squeaky wheel. And we should shut them down. All right, coming back.
(800-687-7979). 800-687-7979.
It's Mulch Week at Lowe's with more SpringFest deals. Get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for $10. Lowe's, they help you save. Valid through 4/9, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
Hey. I don't know why I wanted to do that all spooky-like, but here we are. Share the show. Tell somebody about the News Junkie radio show live stream and podcast. Tell them about the station you're listening to it on right now. Send them a link to the podcast. Hit the like button on the stream. Do all that on a Share the Show Tuesday. This weekend, before gearing up for everything on Monday, Courtney and I finally binged all the stuff in White Lotus in the 3rd season of that, which we almost gave up on a couple of times because I'll tell you what, there's 8 episodes in this season 3 of White Lotus, and out of those 8 episodes, about 4 of them are yawn-inducing and just like boring, and it's all like build up.
Back.
They need to do all the build up so that the other episodes can be exciting, which they are, and that the story arc can be good, which it is. But there was so many like, come on, give me something.
I feel like if you're going to have a show where you have almost a new cast every season, you're going to need to do a better job off the get-go of making me care about these people.
Mm-hmm.
But then once this season in particular got you to care about them, in my opinion, and I feel like a lot of people agree, did not deliver for half of them.
Oh, really? You didn't think so?
No. There was not much of a conclusion, or the conclusion they came to, not great. Like the guard, for example.
Yeah.
Didn't care for that. I thought there was a lot more there as far as his story goes. And then, I don't know. I mean, when do we get to talk about it before it's a spoiler?
I know, but here's the problem, Sabrina. So I'm going to talk about this spoiler-free for everybody who hasn't seen The White Lotus and why this is a tough type of storytelling. You know as well as I do, the entirety of every season of White Lotus is a whodunit. Because we start with the end, right? We start the season of White Lotus with, oh my God, something terrible's happened here. And then the entirety of the season is leading you up to that terrible moment and making you think all these characters were possibly responsible.
Yeah, who done it and who dying.
So if only one person done it, then you're going to have like 6 storylines that you go, well, what the hell? You know, what did we even do that for? Therein lies the big risk. But the thing that I noticed, other than the weird incest storyline stuff, and infuriation.
That was the peak of, okay, this show's going to be wild for the season finale.
And infuriation over blender use. That, too, was a thing that came up. But other than those things.
That was a spoiler, Sean.
No, it wasn't. How was that a spoiler? I just said infuriation over blender use. This is a thing.
Cleanliness.
But I knew without watching, when we were going through some of those more boring episodes of this latest season of White Lotus, I knew every time there was a penis on the screen. because I had a.
Because Courtney made a noise.
I had an alarm next to me. She go, whoa!
Don't come in.
And I go, and then she would each time she would go, whoa, and react to the penis on the screen. And then each time she would go, you see, this needs to be more fair. There needs to be a more equal amount of naked men and naked women in these TV shows and movies. And I'm like, oh my God. It was like an alarm. Like each time one popped up, and there were several that were featured, and as is kind of the norm.
Kind of related follow-up, though. Have you been watching Righteous Gemstones?
No, but it's got one of the same guys, right?
Oh, it does. And also penis.
Oh, his penis, too.
You're in for a real treat.
Yeah, I think it was Josh who had said that guy is kind of making balding cool. That guy.
I don't know if I heard Josh say it, but I definitely have seen an article that would imply that Walton Goggin is like really streamlining the popularity of the receding hairline.
Right, but let's be clear. It's because Walton Goggin is cool and very handsome. So it's not that everyone can pull off that hairstyle.
Well, he's got it going on right now, say some of these people. He's making it cool to be a little bit bald, at least for the moment. Maybe that's just a him thing. Let us know if you saw that, what you thought. Man, hit us up with the dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission.
Heard of them?
They get to tell us kind of what we can or can't say around here. One of the big truths in radio and broadcasting and stuff that a lot of people don't tend to know is there's not some list that they give us, right? There's not like a list where they go, hey guys, Sean, Sabrina, and Celine, here's the list. Take this.
Thank you.
When you go in to do the show, don't say any of these words. Like George Carlin's like, these are the words. No, there's no list. There's nothing that tells you what you can and can't say. You push the line. Well, if you're me, this is what you do. You push the line until you get the call. And, sometimes I get the call. It's calls that happen from time to time.
As far as me, it was the first 2 years, and I didn't know I was pushing the line until you were like, dump that. Dump that. You can't say that.
Well, because there's no list. It's just like we know it when we hear it. We'll know that you've been a bad, bad boy when we hear that you've done X, Y, or Z. And that's just always the way it's been in radio. They tell you can't talk about excretory functions, all right, in depth, or the act in a graphic way of something sexual, right? You can't talk about those particular things. But the other words are all up in the air. Like the FCC defended Bono for one, he said the F word. And he said it on live television, and they went after him, and then they go, no, this is not actionable because he said this is, no, it wasn't even that. He said this is effing brilliant. And that is not describing sex or sex functions or any of those things. I bring all this up to tell you there's a new initiative.
They weren't going after Bono directly. It would have been the broadcaster.
Yeah, they were going after the broadcaster in that case. From Washington, D.C., the Federal Communications Commission is asking for your help. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr is asking for the public's help in rethinking some of the commission's regulations. They're asking you to weigh in on regulations that should be revised or eliminated altogether. The initiative is called Delete, 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 and it was announced by the chairman last month in a press release, blah, blah, blah. They said, for too long, administrative agencies have added new regulatory requirements in excess of their authority and kept lawful regulations in place long after the shelf life expired. The FCC is committed to ending all the rules and regulations that are no longer necessary.
Go on.
And we welcome the public's participation and feedback through this process. So now it could be that maybe there's some upswell of a movement where people say, I think the FCC should let those folks say whatever they want to say. And I have a little secret for you folks, right? If Sabrina was successful, if anybody was successful in like petitioning the FCC and saying, we no longer want you to censor these shows, do you know what would change the day after that? Nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Nothing. iHeartRadio would come to us just like every other radio broadcast company would come to the people who work for them, and they would go, We don't care about this. We want you to keep doing what you've been doing. We want advertisers, and advertisers don't want to be around a show that's filthy and full of curse words and expletives and gross stuff. So guess what? You can't do that. If there were no rules on us, folks, no rules, everything would continue just like this. And I get the same phone calls. Not that I'm whining or complaining.
Wow. It'll sound like it.
It's just that I got a phone call not long ago. I got recently got a phone call. Recently.
Hello.
John Wasson speaking.
The phone call always starts off good. It's like, hey, man, how you doing? Show is great. It is great. You got the three of you, really something special. Just really got something special going on there. And I go, this is headed in too positive of a direction.
You're fluffed.
Then it's like, oh, well, there is just one thing. Could you maybe pull back on this? And I'm, okay, all right.
Did you explain that particular thing was because of the particular story in which the entire world was also saying that?
I just took the criticism. I said, all right, it's fair enough. This is a fair point.
And you called them that right before you hung up?
No, I was fine with it, and I thought we handled it pretty well, the thing that they were upset about. I didn't think we handled it too bad. But I think the thing that happens on this show is we're pretty real about things. So sometimes if we really get upset, say things, and you get in trouble with the suits. It's just part of the process here. It's how it goes.
We were
if you
overdue,
It happens from time to time. But we're okay. We love them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into this, this problem for Sabrina that's going to lead to
So that's
her making...
not what would make me cry.
No, not that at all. No, it's coming up. When we return, we'll talk about this. And I think this is crazy, but it could actually be something and a crazy decision that all of us have to make in really due time. And it's about something you love the most. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your 30 seconds of airtime awaits. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
Traffic still slowing down over St. John's River Bridge due to that accident on I-4 eastbound at Saxon Boulevard. The right lane's blocked there. There's an accident on the ramp from the Greenway southbound to Curry Ford Road, a crash, slowing down traffic eastbound on the beach line, just west of State Road 520. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients...
Hello, folks. Short break. Back in a moment. Hope everyone's well. Big burning questions when we come back. And this is going to drag something out of you, I think. So stick with us for this one. Let's see how much time we have. All right. Just under 3 minutes. Hey, little tip for you guys and gals. One thing you can do if you have somebody who lives with you, and this is always a fun thing, if there's mail that comes in, take one of the pieces of mail and go, oh God, oh shit. Is this it? And just kind of like, have you, while you have that piece of mail in your hand, react very dramatically. And then open the piece of mail and then look at it in shock and then slam it down on the counter and walk away. And then whoever else is in the house will wonder what's going on, and then they'll see the most innocuous letter of mail from State Farm or something that is in front of you. Works every time. 100% of the time works every time. Give it a shot. Courtney is a saint for putting up with me? Putting up with me? I think I'm pretty easy to put up with. What am I doing that's so bad? Maybe I'm the saint here. Have you ever thought of that? Huh? What if I was the saint? Buzz says the other person would just assume it's your 401k. Yeah, right now maybe. Still fun, especially if it's like a piece of mail for $5 off an oil change or something. They come over and they're like, "What in the fresh hell happened here? What kind of drama?" And I got to be able to see. And then they go look at it and they go, "Oh, get out of here." Speaking of get out of here, we're coming back in just a few seconds. Hang tight.
HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. The show that takes you from Skywall summer to Jack Rocket fall.
You can go to the website, thenewsjunkie.com/share, and you can follow all of us all across social media platforms. That means myself, Sabrina, C-Lane, Josh, Fritz, everybody who you hear around here on The News Junkie. Everybody's available. All the info up at thenewsjunkie.com/share.
Did you accept the collaboration?
What collaboration?
The collaboration for the video that was posted.
I don't know.
You're in for... And I feel like everyone's in for a real treat.
Mm-hmm.
I would just want to put that out there before you make me cry.
Okay.
That it was a good. Both of us look really good in it.
Both of us, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a trap. I'm not.
As far as I'm not
wanting to do that.
That's why you know I took the sacrifice.
No, whatever it is bad. I understand that it's bad, and I'm not wanting to do that.
Okay.
I want to ask you some big questions now. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Of all the things in your life, Sabrina, that are most important to you.
Oh, my God.
What do you have no idea where I'm going with this. Why don't you have a little bit of faith? No, of all the things, if you could list like things that are very important to you, what are those things? What's on that list? Family.
Yeah.
Right?
Family. My girlfriend.
Okay.
My friends.
All right.
My fur babies.
Your fur babies. Okay.
My independence.
Can we go through your pets, the pets that you have at your house? Can we go through the quick list? What are you
going to make me cry.
You have no idea where this is going. So just follow me on a journey here, okay? Let's go through your pets that you have at your house, Sabrina. What do we got? We got Carl.
We have Carl.
Little dog.
He's
tiny little dog.
5.5 pound Yorkie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have my ride or die for the last 13 years, Luna.
Mm-hmm. Luna. Okay. Luna's a cat. Yeah. And
then we have Celine. I've had for 7 years. Found her under an RV here at iHeart.
Right, that's right. Right. Mm-hmm. So you got 3 animals, 3 pets that live with you at your house. Mm-hmm. Now the reason,
how would you like to have 2?
You don't know where I'm going either, sir, okay? But you're pretty darn close.
Okay.
There's a place in Colorado right now that's trying to be a leader in the world of sort of just being decent to your animals. And I think they've gone awry here in some of the moves they've made. So let me tell you some details about this and we'll get into it. A city in Colorado is about to enforce a brand new law that says you cannot have more than 4 pets. All right? Doesn't matter what kind. Doesn't matter what the mix is.
Oh, so I can't have 2 fish?
You can't. No.
So you have more than 4 pets?
They are saying you in this city in Colorado, a little city called North Glen, right? It's right outside of Denver. They have a law that they are going to start enforcing that says you cannot have more than 4 pets. Okay? And now they may make out some exceptions for people who currently already have more than 4 pets, but they may not. And so that comes down to a very tough, difficult question. If the animal police came to your household and they said, look, the threshold in Florida has been dropped to 2. You can only have 2 pets in your house. And I see that you have 3 here, Sabrina, in front of you. One of them has to go into this van and we're going to bring them somewhere else. You don't need to know where, but you're never going to see them again. You have to offload one of your pets right in that moment. Do you have an immediate decision or?
Yeah, I say get all of the SWAT team because you're not touching my pets.
Okay. They
No
say.
way. Absolutely not.
Challenge accepted. They get the SWAT team. They arrive back at your house.
I guess we're all going to die here.
They say, we've now stormed into your house and we have a gun to your head.
And where's your warrant?
One of these animals
That's so
has
messed
to go.
up, man.
It's going to be Celine. I know it's going to be Celine. Before
No,
you
it's
even
not
say.
gonna be Celine.
Yes, she gets the least mentions on the show, and therefore Celine is getting tossed out with the trash.
Absolutely not, man. You can't
She's
make
going
me.
out.
You can't make me answer something like that when I love all of them very much.
You don't love
Like,
them
those
equally,
are my
though.
babies.
But you don't love them equally.
Of course, I love them equally, but in different ways.
There's no such thing.
So
There's no-
Are you asking me the question, or is there a wrong answer?
There are wrong answers
Okay.
around the edges. The first thing is there is
way,
no such thing in life. There is no such thing as loving 2 things equally. Okay? Even if you have identical twin kids, you love one of them more than the other. You legitimately love one of them more than the other. If you have pets and they come through your city and they're like, we have a new rule. You can't have more than this many pets. You have to
And I
offload
go, what
one
is
of
this,
them.
North Korea?
You're going to start weighing things. You're going to be like,
Yeah,
is Carl more annoying? Is like, does Luna wake me up
Where do
when
you
she
weigh
jumps on
things? In what sense do we weigh in the idea that, I mean, I go with Celine, and realistically speaking, you're going to make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Luna is much older.
That's true. That's true.
So in that case, I guess Carl's gone, man.
Carl's out?
Like I said,
He's
over
so cute, though.
my...
He's so little.
Right, they're all cute. Sean.
Somebody says, Big Doug Millionaire on Twitch says, who's Celine? Never heard of her. I know Luna. Good luck, Celine. Good luck. Right out the door.
Okay.
I'm telling
And
you,
you?
like, if we had to make this decision,
Junkie
you know
cat.
what it is. If they told me the fish count, see you later, fish.
Yeah, of course, because you've also managed to kill them yourself.
I will grab a bowl and take every one of those fish and fling them out the front door if it keeps my other animals on the up and up.
Okay, now fish are gone. Junkie cat or lady.
See you later, Piper. Junkie cat out on the front lawn.
All right, lady or Courtney.
We got to take a break.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't feel good, does it? And there's no way.
No,
Good
obviously,
luck, Flem, Colorado.
Lady, see you later. Lady, out the door.
Yeah,
you
good
have
answer.
to weigh your options. It's like, what if that happened on this show? What if the cops busted down the door and they were like, the FCC picked up a new rule and we've just learned that you can only have 2 people on the show?
Is this before or after Trump DEI?
No, this is right now. This is in the real world.
I'll see you
It
guys
happened.
later.
And
You'll hear me on the podcast that I make up for myself.
These things are true choices that people have to make sometimes. Let me give you the overview
Notice the
here.
response or lack thereof.
A city in Colorado is preparing to enforce a new ordinance that could lead to the seizure of cats and dogs from residents who own more than 4 pets. This is real, people. North Glen, located roughly 40 minutes outside of Denver, Colorado, will begin enforcing the rule on August 4th. The ordinance limits households to a total of 4 animals, whether that includes 4 dogs, 4 cats, or a combination of both.
What's the point of this? Like, what, are they really having that much of an animal issue?
Good question. The ordinance was approved by the city council, quote, at the request of residents and after extensive research and discussion, the city said. It followed complaints by residents about excessive noise and waste caused by a high number of pets in certain neighborhoods. Residents who currently have more than 4 pets will be required to apply for a previously owned pet exception. And you have to list your pet's name, age, breed, sex, and date the animal was obtained. Good luck, pit bulls. If residents fail to file the exemption in time, the city could pursue enforcement actions, which includes a potential court order requiring pet removal. They're at the house, baby.
Yeah,
they're knocking down the door.
Taxpayer dollars.
I think
that's the go-to.
Just so we're clear, I think this is insane. I think this is nanny state insanity. Get out of my house. F you. I can have as many pets as I want as long as I'm treating them with the dignity and respect that every creature deserves.
Yes.
Get out of my house. Get out of my neighborhood. Get off my lawn. Get off my planet if you act up too much.
Could you imagine being the person tasked with showing up to people's houses in this city and having to remove pets?
Yeah. I mean, you better have a bulletproof vest.
You imagine this? You bust down the door and they go, we have reason to believe you have more than 4 total pets. You have a 5th pet. Show us the pets.
And then you're going to see Luna with a giant trench coat on with Celine legs.
They're all stacked up. Like this is for real. This is an actual thing. And I know that this forces difficult questions.
Would you hide Piper in the little Harry Potter room? A little false door by
that's where
the
he
stairs?
keeps her all the time.
Yeah, I might try to, like the Jews during the Nazi era.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, it's a very similar thing. You're hiding things to keep them away from the bad things. I think the line can be drawn there very easily, and I don't want the Jews to get Junkie Cat. Oh, wait, hold on.
The Nazis.
I want the Nazis to get Junkie Cat. The Nazis were the bad guys. That's right. And in this Colorado City...
That's not something you want to be heard confusing, buddy.
Sorry, Kanye, you were saying what?
They want you to know that you don't have the right. All right? You do not have the right. They said our goal is to work with residents to ensure compliance through education and outreach.
Yeah,
you will be educated. That's what they're saying to you. This is what the real world is proposing should happen to us.
Good
They
luck.
are saying...
Does that include emotional support or service animals?
Doesn't matter. It's not even included in anything I see
Perfect.
here. No, it literally says it is the amount of pets that you have. You get a total household limit of 4 animals. And that could include 4 dogs or 4 cats or 2 dogs and 2 cats or any combination of both those animals. But each one over that is subject to getting hoisted out of your house. So I asked to you today via dispatch and beyond, is there an animal that you have in mind where you're like, oh, I know who's going first. Oh, I know who I am just shoveling out of here. And is there anybody, even one out there, who says, yes, finally, this is a great idea. I've been waiting for something like this forever. People have too many animals and somebody needs to do something about it. That, to me, is a very strange take, but maybe that's yours. Let us know. Send a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. But that's insane.
I didn't care for that.
That's
That wasn't a fun game for me.
craziness. Well, now we know. We know the pecking order in the in your household.
I never said any of that. You guys just assumed.
You definitely said
Celine-
Carl.
Yeah,
See you later, Carl.
I was doing the joke stuff. I promise you, would never get rid of any of my pets.
You would.
I would not. I would move. I would move. I would do everything in my power and beyond to not get rid of those 3 pets.
And now you go to move, and they say, actually, this is going to be a nationwide law.
Sweet. I will be in Switzerland.
Switzerland just learned.
Oh, my God.
You can't
This
escape
is where
it.
the FCC stuff comes
Never gonna end. What do you think about this, folks? Let us know. Head on over to the website where you can send us a dispatch. Do that at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, we'll get to those when we come back. We're going to talk about another law that's floating around out there that's pretty damn crazy to think of. And when we return, we'll get into at least a little bit something that happened at a club. And I am a big club goer. People who know me, they think, Sean's probably at a rave right now.
In the club.
He's probably hanging out in the club, doing his thing. But this is just a crazy situation in the Dominican Republic at this club that is dominating some of the headlines today. Let us know what you think about what we've talked about so far, what we should be talking about, and everything in between with the dispatch. Send yours at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All that and so much more to Share the Show Tuesday. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, the most and least affordable cities in Florida, plus getting buried in space. At 4, we'll do What'd You Do That's New. For trivia, it's tickets to Brews at the Zoo and UB40. And in the 6 o'clock hour, It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on the beach line eastbound just west of State Road 520. There's an accident on the ramp from the Greenway southbound to Curry Ford Road. The shoulder is blocked on I-4 eastbound at State Road 535, and the right lane's blocked on I-4 eastbound at Saxon Boulevard. Traffic is slowing down over St. John's River Bridge there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing, solar from Solar Source, or cooling system from Mills Air. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests by going to realradio.fm/contests.
It's never been done before. iHeartRadio and America's favorite TV show, Wheel of Fortune, come together for 1 week only. Music lovers from across the country play for incredible iHeartRadio experiences.
iHeartRadio Jingle Ball Concert.
Music Festival.
iHeartRadio Music Award.
And you can win too. Play along all week at wheeloffortune.com and you could find yourself at an unforgettable iHeartRadio event.
Start spinning. Good luck.
All this week.
iHeartRadio Week on Wheel of Fortune with me, Ryan Seacrest. Check it out.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news if you're considering a reverse mortgage. Rates have improved again this week. Get a same-day quote at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Thatmortgageguydon.com. Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
This is it, the free event you've been waiting for. The Leesburg Bike Fest presented by Progressive, April 25th to 27th. A weekend packed with high-octane fun and rock and roll. Catch headliners Dirty Honey, Lit, Fuel, and the Marshall Tucker Band. Experience the Wall of Death, Pro Action Wrestling, 20 local bands, and more. There's something for everyone. Visit LeesburgBikeFest.com today to upgrade your experience.
Go on. This show should be called The Commercial Junkie. We got to pay the bills, man. This is a radio show. It's a talk radio show. So for it to translate over to a live stream, we have the ingenious invention of Skull Mic so that a conversation can happen between those longer commercial breaks so you don't have to put up with them. Also, there are 3 commercial breaks an hour, which again, in the streaming world is absolutely batshit insane. But that's why I'm talking to you now. That's why we have this conversation going on. To try to make it so, hey, we're not in the actual content of the show, but there's still something going on. If it pleases the court, we'll continue to do that. Or maybe you guys don't like Skull Mike. Do you agree? What did I tell you about hecklers? Do you agree? Skull Mike shut down forever and we just go, maybe we don't do that. Huh? Sean said, must have been Sealane's idea then. Well, I don't know. Who can say who came up with the Skull Mike idea? The only thing I could tell you is that I came up with the Skull Mike idea. And I was going to do Skull Mike camera, and then I was going to bring the chat over here, and then I said, let's keep Skull Mike simple. Skull Mike is the greatest invention ever. It should go on Shark Tank. We could be hawking these Skull Mics for $99.99 a piece. We could really turn a profit on these suckers. The commercial break, which started this conversation, which finances the show, the equipment, all that good stuff, is coming to an end. And we're going back to a new discussion, actually, this time. So thank you for surviving, and let's go. Here we go. We're coming back in a moment.
Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke out of jail more than you ever prison in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Radio.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or two before you're listening.
Viral stories of the day, and you are welcome here, no matter who you are, no matter what drives you, no matter what you think about what I say on a daily basis. If you lose your mind every once in a while and go, he is out of his mind, that's fine. It's kind of okay. You're allowed to be wrong from time to time, and you're allowed to be with us. So if you miss anything, go to thenewsjunkie.com and subscribe to the podcast right now. In the Dominican Republic, there was a club where I guess the roof just collapsed. I don't know if Sabrina and Celine, if you guys saw this at all, but Jesus, man.
Yeah, I saw a headline come through on my phone, and I've seen a picture or two on TMZ.
They were just trying to party, have a little bit of a good time at the Jet Set Nightclub, And this is like a famous place that everybody goes to. And in the middle of their party, they have a catastrophe. The roof collapses in on them. And they had to send 101 ambulances to this place.
Where was this?
This was in the Dominican Republic. And
so everyone was on the roof?
Jet Set Nightclub. No, the roof collapsed. It fell in. It fell in on the people. Oh,
just randomly. Like there was not weight on it to make it collapse.
I don't know. I mean, for whatever reason, the roof ended up collapsing inside of the place. And that caused the damage. You got 15 people dead. And just absolutely, and those numbers are kind of, there's like people saying 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever it is.
I'm seeing 18.
18 people dead. They were just thought they were hanging out in the club in the Dominican Republic, hanging out, enjoying themselves. And beautiful DR, as they call it. And it just ended in a bad way. But what caused all this? Let's dive in. Let's see what happened. Here's ABC.
New this morning, a roof collapses, killing 13 people in the Dominican Republic. This is all new video of the collapse at Jet Set Nightclub in the country's capital. At least 93 others were injured. Rescue crews are searching through the rubble for survivors.
Hello. Wow, the inside of this place that they show is like, it's just debris. It's just rubble everywhere. What used to be a nightclub. And hang on, let me see if I could find this. Because I saw a couple of photos from inside where people were just partying. And next thing you know, the roof collapses. And everybody's freaking out, just going in whatever direction they possibly could. Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, the roof is gone. The roof is just absolutely gone. I don't know if this thing was just not up to code or the codes aren't any good. Or
for it to completely collapse like that, you'd think it would just be, a hole.
It's not one section. It's the whole thing, except for one edge of it is not,
that's awful.
Crashed out. Is this the right hand? All right, this is inside the club, and somebody's pointing. They keep pointing at something.
I wonder if it was the
bass.
The bass.
It could have been. That music is pretty intense sometimes. The bass could just rock things loose a little bit. So far, it's just these people chilling, and I don't see anything really happening. But yeah, eventually the roof collapses here, and maybe this was earlier on. Hang on, and because nothing has happened just yet. It's only 9 seconds. Oh, wow! All right, that escalated quickly. Yeah, it goes from these guys on stage giving a performance at this club to people shaking, and then just complete blackness. Just everybody hits the ground, I guess, and all the roof falls on them. So absolute chaos. Is this inside or outside? You can't tell what's what. As they're sifting through the rubble. Yeah, I mean, it's just chaos. They're just trying to find something in this just sea of rubble at this club. These poor people were having a great night until everything kind of switched on them 180 immediately. What a freak out moment that is. Speaking of freak out moments, all right, the stock market's still up. It's still up, all right. Yeah, I mean, it's seesawing between like 700 on the positive side to up 1,000 and then back down to 695 and then back up. But it looks like it's remained in positive territory most of the day. There it zoots up again to 739. Maybe we hit the bottom here, or maybe this is like a little, plateau point for a second. And then, bottom drops out again. Don't trust anybody that tells you they really know what's going to happen next. But hopefully, I'm hoping for the best as always. So that's what we're looking at with the markets there. Despite what old Kramer said, I guess Kramer was like, this is going to be Black Monday. The market's going to just completely collapse. And it wasn't quite as bad.
Well,
Thursday sucked. Friday sucked.
You could listen to Kramer, or you could listen to Shirtless Tampa Guy, who said, I don't have to worry about anything because I'm a Trump fan.
That's right. He's not worried because we're going to dominate, baby. Here's
the president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario. The one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession.
Oh, great.
But if President Trump stays intransigent and does nothing to ameliorate the damage that I saw these last 2 days, I'm not going to be constructive here. I will contain my anger, but only because I lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay.
He survived that one, and now he's going to try to survive this one. Although
I will contain my anger.
However, so I don't know. I would not tell you that this is the bottom because I am not an expert, nor are half the people who pretend to be. But we're going to keep an eye on it. That's what we do around here. Let's see what you guys got going on. Let's work on a couple of dispatches here on a Share the Show Tuesday. Here's people talking about this 4-animal law. If you didn't hear this, I was talking about how it's legit now a law in this Colorado city where you can only have a max of 4 pets. 2 cats, 2 dogs, whatever mix of them you want. But you can only have 4. And if you have 5, they might be coming around door to door to say, give one up. You can't have any more than that. This is the rule around here. That's obviously insane. Floridian Kelly says, I am wrong. In fact, the title just says, wrong, Mr. Wasson.
Sean, I'm sorry to say you are very wrong. You do not have 2 children. I love both of my children equally. They are both very different. And I would not give up one for another. So I'm sorry, Mr. Wasson. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
Thank you, Floridian Kelly. It's not true. There's no way to equally love 2 things. You have to have a weight in one direction or the other. You can say, I love all of my kids. That is true. You can say, man, I would do anything in the world for my kids. That is true. But if you literally were presented with an inescapable situation where you had to choose one over the other for some variety of reasons, you would make that choice. And with our pets, with everything, I say, like, you know, you probably really, 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 really love both of your kids. But you favor one over another. And maybe that moves, maybe like Tuesday,
Isn't there a
Wednesday,
movie about
changes.
that? The Good Daughter or something?
There's a Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. I know that
Hanging
one.
over the cliff.
Yeah, he wasn't the good son on that one. He was not.
Spoiler alert.
Not a good kid. Here's Junebug talking about animals.
Hey, junkies. Heard you talking about that crazy law that they're passing about you can only have 4 animals.
That's it.
Wouldn't a good workaround be you registered to be a rescue? So you're going to be like, no, I'm an animal rescue over here. I mean, I think that's exactly what I would do. I would find some type of workaround.
No.
Because they can't do this. All right, have a good one.
See,
Bye.
we got to change this type of thinking because people often think like this, and Junebug is just being a normal person going, well, if they came around to my neighborhood and they said you can only have 4 animals, ooh, looks like you got 5. You better give one of those up to us right now, and we'll do with it as we see fit. If that happens in your neighborhood, you don't go, what kind of workarounds can we use? What can we do to make sure that our animals are safe and they're not going around?
Why would you not
and
think
around?
about workarounds?
Because you grab your gun and you get ready. That's what you do. You do not negotiate with terrorists. You do not negotiate with these people who want to upend your life because they push through some dumb law.
I thought you were shooting the 5th animal there. I was way off.
I would way rather aim it at a politician than the 5th animal. Way rather do that, friend. We can't let that stuff happen. When people turn things upside down to where you got a local law that would say you can only have 4 of your pets, even if you're treating them all with all the care and love and attention that they deserve, then you got to go like, hey, we're going to take to the streets and we're going to overturn this law because everybody believes it's stupid. Because I know if you went in this town, I would almost be assured that if in this town you put it up for a vote and said, should people only be able to have 4 pets total? Or should we not really be in the business of determining that? Should we just determine whether the animals are cared for well or not? Because I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds wacky, just absolutely out there. But I think in this very dumb brain of mine that it's possible for someone to have less than 4 animals and still not treat them the way they should be treated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I am, because I'm so dumb, not positive that just saying any more than 4 is the problem point, as opposed to the person being the problem point. And when they come up with these dumb laws, take to the meetings and the streets and go let them know that you think this is crazy. And if enough people agree with you and enough people are like you, lickety split, that whole thing gets flipped upside down. People power works on that level. When you see a movement that has that much momentum, it can't be slowed down. And that's a nonpartisan thing, I think. At least I'd hope so. We'll see what you think. Let us know. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and record yours right now. When we return, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
Sean, thank you so much for asking. What's coming up on the next episode? Cassie is reportedly going to testify against Diddy in federal trial. And according to Londoners, Tina Turner is alive. Bryan Adams and everything he do it for you. Ryan Adams, on the other hand, is a little bitch. Plus, Beatles drummer is retiring, leaving many wondering who, what, where, and all that coming up next on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Tuesday forecast for Central Florida. And today we'll actually see temperatures fall at least through about midday. We'll stay around the 60s before eventually climbing to right around the low middle 70s, where we'll hover for much of the afternoon hours. We'll also see a couple.
School bike. Refreshment break. Do you kill off one of your pets or oust an elected official? Boy, that seems like an easy one to solve. Right? Florida Scratcher says PETA will fight it. Yeah. I mean, maybe. A lot of the original brains behind PETA, some of the more radical elements early on in PETA, didn't want people to own pets. They wanted, freedoms and liberties for animals that went beyond those animals being your pets. So there might be some contingency of animal rights activists, I don't think it would be a big number, that would support it. That would say, yes, we not only do we need to lock this at 4, we need to lock it at 0. People shouldn't have pets at all. Set the pets free. What could go wrong? Pets are always better than a lot of humans? Yes. Yes, indeed. Also, friends, on the Epic Universe front, real quick, if you get a chance, whether now in previews or when Epic Universe opens as a park, and even maybe when things calm down, like the end of the year or something, and you're able to get in there, in the Harry Potter land, the ride, which is the Ministry of Magic ride, we didn't get to go on that, although I hear it's absolutely jaw-dropping. But there's a stage show in the Harry Potter land and Epic Universe, and it is jaw on the floor. Like, I am telling you, from the pre-show to the show itself to just many moments within the show, my jaw was on the goddamn floor. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life like that. There was so many things where I was watching going, holy cow, how is this happening? Incredible. Jaw on the floor, pants on the ground. My pants were not on the ground, but they may as well have been. It was just very, very good. I'm not going to spoil anything from it, just in case you do go to see it. But I'm telling you, there's all of these moments where you're watching and you're going, oh, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Very, very well done to all the people involved in that. Alicia says, we looked into it and the earliest we can get tickets is June. Yeah, I know they're pretty tough to get. And then when you do get them, that first bit, you know how crazy it is. It's going to be just crowds that are enormous. If you know anybody at all who works at Universal in any capacity, reach out to them and ask them, and they can get people in right now because they're doing all of the testing and stuff. So if you got anybody or you know somebody who knows somebody that will vouch for you, that's how you can get in beforehand. All right, folks. Commercial break ending. We're coming back now.
Now, here's a good number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 104.1.
I'd encourage you to do that at thenewsjunkie.com/share. If you miss any of these shows today or ever, or just want to have a good time, become a member of the podcast crew. Podcasters, salute to you. We love you. We appreciate you. You've made this show one of the biggest podcasts. I think the top podcast in the southeastern United States, according to our friends at iHeartRadio. And we could not obviously do it without you. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. We love you. And keep hanging out with us each day. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
If you don't know, now you know.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up is right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're looking to refinance, buy your first dream home, do some debt consolidation, maybe a reverse mortgage, you got to work with the legend, the man, that mortgage guy, Don. Not only is he an expert in his field, but he's looking out for you, treating you like a, wait for it, human?
Wow.
A friend, taking care of you and your family, or your pets that you consider family and would never get rid of, not even one of them. Start the process today by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
It was this stupid
So why do you keep running into it? It's right there.
I'm like
the
using my
microphone
hands
stays.
too much. I'm using my hands too much.
Because you have a leather jacket on today. You don't have enough mobility in that thing.
I went many days in a row with the jeans, so I had to go leather. And that's a little bit about me.
Very Dice Clay of you today.
39 years ago, 1986. This guy right here, think about the song, not the artist.
All right. Oh, the Gorilla.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood is right. C-Lane with 2 points. And it was on this day in 1986. He was elected mayor of Carmel, California.
Nice.
Landslide with 72% of the votes. Sworn in a week later and served 2 whole years. He ran for office so that he could add a few stories to the Hog's Breath Inn. It was a bar he owned at the time, and miraculously, he became mayor, and the board approved his project. An additional fun fact, Clint is the name one of my neighbors think Carl's name is. And
they think it's Clint?
It's gone too long that I don't correct them. And so they're like, how you doing, Clint? All right, Clint. Clint's a good boy.
That's awkward.
Yeah. So there you go.
And then you end up buying in on the lie sometimes. So you're going to tell them a story.
Too long. Like, how do you do it? Where I'm just like, by the way, his name's Carl.
Because I've done that, and then you go, when you're talking with them, you go, oh, Clint got out the other day, and you're taking part in the fake namery of your dog.
If he does get out, I have to put on, Facebook an asterisk, like, for those of you that think his name is Clint, same dog.
Yeah.
We have some exciting news for those that don't want to pay for movie tickets. # tariffs. Not really. With all the success of the box office hit Minecraft movie, Minecraft movie,
it's a big one.
Pirates have now gotten their hands on a version of that movie.
Have you seen this at all?
And it's now circulating. I have not. It's unfinished, I hear.
It's so great.
So
It's
what's the
so
catch?
I've never seen a movie quite like this. But I have seen one movie, and I think it was a Marvel movie. And the copy that my friend was watching, because I would never download this,
Burger.
It wasn't a final cut. So there was scenes where they'd go, get in the plane,
Chopper.
and they'd get in their plane, but the plane was still like a thing on strings, and basically they'd be like,
great.
oh, we'll finish that scene in CG later, and it's not done.
That's called a work print.
Yeah.
And there was one, I don't think we're talking about the same Marvel movie because I don't remember the plane thing, but of the Hulk, it was an early Hulk.
This is what people were hoping for in the BH cut of Cats.
Mm-hmm.
But
that the internet never got.
The Hulk, the graphics weren't finished on them. They were just very early, very preliminary, and sometimes his pants would disappear. He'd just be all green.
So I take it you saw this, Sean?
I saw a couple of clips of it on Twitter that people were posting. It was so funny.
So
man.
what are like those work print moments that are happening for this cut?
So
there's circulating the internet.
Two types of things. One is if there's a scene where a person is animated, but they're actually physically acting it out. It could be them with like, the like balls on them that like monitor their tracking, and they haven't replaced it with
Mine Shaft.
So they're like they're acting in the moment and they haven't been replaced by the animated version of them. Or it could be, so there was one that I saw where it was a scene where they crashed down to Earth, and then like this pig went flying and a car went flying by or something. But everything that it showed was like a fifth grader did it. It was like a little doodle that was in this scene, and they have to react to it like, oh my God.
Leaked.
I don't know. Somebody's in trouble though.
Do you get the gist of the movie, I imagine?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but it's awkward and kind of weird.
Yeah. Also awkward and kind of weird. If you do end up in the movie theater, you might find yourself, I guess, in the chicken jockey phase of it all.
Yeah, good old chicken jockey phase.
Fans of the Minecraft game and now the Minecraft movie are reacting intensely to the, quote, chicken jockey scene. I sent you the clip in our chat there, Sean.
Yeah, this would be so
is just from the outside. I remember seeing some footage from inside a theater, but I guess when this scene comes up, the reaction is to throw anything and everything in your hands out, which is popcorn, drinks, to the point where like 3 little kids were escorted out of the theater by cops.
But it's bad.
This gives you, those of you not watching on the stream, you could just listen to it.
So this is popcorn. There's the moment.
Everyone's cheering, and I imagine throwing everything everywhere.
Yeah, I'll bring it up later in the show, but I've been following on Reddit. There's a subreddit where people who work at movie theaters, they all post on there.
They're pissed.
And they're so pissed off. Like, this is a catastrophe for them.
Yeah, just like, remember, it was Monsters, Inc. University that people were also doing that.
Yeah.
Where they were just throwing popcorn everyweverywhere.
That's so annoying.
And smoking inside theaters.
No,
and then leaving their car keys there by accident, having to go the next day. And it was just 3 of us inside the theater. Looks possessed. Guess who I'm describing? This TikTok. But yeah, you're hearing it right. Britney Poop.
It happens.
Of course, in a British accent. And fans expressed concern, saying, frightening, weird. She's also announcing she'll be working with Universal Pictures to create a biopic based on her 2023 memoir. But a little part of me wants a biopic based on her 2024 to 2025 Instagram.
Yeah.
That's what the people want to watch.
Tough to watch. I always wonder, like, is there anybody who's an expert on these things who watches and goes, if I got control of Britney Spears, I could put her on this, and I could help her with this, and she would be completely normal again.
I could fix her.
Yeah. Can somebody actually fix her?
No, but what you can do is comment on X. Somebody's Lucy tweeted Britney Spears' video about her nails is actually frightening. Another person said, I wish she stopped talking like that. And third said, I don't care. That ain't Britney. Her teeth ain't never looked like that. She's got someone else's mouth.
They are starting to look weird. There's something about her teeth that's happening.
Maybe it's the British accent. She's really forming into a British person.
Could be, yeah.
I only have time for a couple more, so let's go with this musical tragedy. Imagine.
Oh.
The day the music died was actually this weekend.
Elton John died?
No. It was the original Beatles drummer died. His career died. He is retiring.
Oh. It's unfortunate.
Not Ringo.
3
points if you can name the original drummer.
Damn it. Nice work.
Well.
That's
done.
good. That's nice. Yeah, that's him.
Pete Best is right, and to our best knowledge, he was still performing, and no one knew it. His brother actually announced it, saying, well, what an absolutely wonderful ride we've had. However, everything comes to a pass. My brother, Pete Best, has announced today he is retiring from personal appearances and performing with the group. Hashtag what group?
Well, he had a good run, right?
Yeah.
What group, though? Who was he performing with?
All right. 3 more points on the board. Name his band.
Pete
Name
Best
his band. 5, 4,
and the
3,
Boys.
2. So close. 5, 4.
Pete Best and the Crusaders.
So close.
And
Smaller.
Pete Best and the worst.
No, just one more time.
Pete and the Best.
The Pete Best Band.
Damn it.
There you go. Pete and his family still run the Kashba Coffee Club, the CCC.
Yeah. Rock
which
the
is
Casbah.
early venue that the Beatles called home.
Yeah, Sharif doesn't really like it, though.
Or they called it
don't
a
like
flat.
it.
Is it? It's Casbah? That's the same coffee bar?
Casbah. Rock the Casbah. Yeah.
The coffee bar, though? I thought Casbah was with a K and somewhere else.
I thought that meant something different, but maybe that's what they were talking about.
So it's open still by Pete's mother, and there are 4 rooms you can rent out via Airbnb. Lennon Suite, McCartney Suite, Harrison Suite, and you guessed it,
Best Suite.
Best Suite.
Best Suite. F you, Ringo. And that's my time, so let me give you the bib jib. Chicken Jockey. The 6th season premiere of The Handmaid's Tale. Oh, I'm so excited. But I also feel like I need to catch up on what happened last time.
Yawn.
My next guest needs no introduction. Nice. That's going to be with Caitlin Clark. Sean?
Yeah, I know her,
Yawn?
the basketball player.
I thought you were
No,
gonna
I'm
say
not
yawn
yawning
again.
at her. She's very impressive.
Daredevil, Born Again, Disney Plus, first season finale of Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. I believe that's her daughters. And you can catch Triple H on Fallon. Follow your dreams. Send me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. But most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. Is that supposed to sound like it's talking about her boobs?
What?
Is that like...
And her Wild Things?
Yeah. Yeah, because was she in the movie Wild Things, or was
Yes.
that not her? That was her, right?
But that
Okay.
wasn't... I guess it was boobs, but it was all the lesbian scene. In the
That
pool.
was the big deal, yeah.
Who did you
That
make
was-
out with?
Nev Campbell or no?
Yeah, Nev Campbell.
Oh, Nev Campbell doesn't get a show.
Nev Campbell, who was big at the time and now no longer. There's some of those actresses from that time where I see photos of them every once in a while now, and I go, I know people age, of course. I'm not going to be the guy that goes, oh, this person doesn't look like they used to. Exactly. But Nev Campbell and Jennifer Love Hewitt just look like completely different people to me now. I don't know.
You think Jennifer Love Hewitt looks completely different?
I think she looks very, very different.
Are you
very
looking
different.
at the correct picture?
I saw her on Instagram not that long ago, and somebody goes, Jennifer Love Hewitt is talking about being back in the Scream franchise or not being back in the Scream franchise. And so I'm watching it, and I go, who is this person?
Yeah.
And
Wait,
at the
wait,
end
wait.
they go,
You know what shooketh me? Courtney sent it to me last week, was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
oh, yeah.
Where it was like this meme where someone says, I tried to tell my daughter this man right here
was a hottie.
Was a poster on my wall, and he just looks so different.
He does. Not Scream, Lana, because I know where you're coming at me.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah,
they're trying to
what you did
reboot
last
that
summer.
because they did reboot Scream and Nev Campbell's in it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to reboot that now, and they were talking about her involvement and stuff. And I was watching the whole thing before I realized, I was like, oh, that's Jennifer Love Hewitt. She just looks, and this is not to say like she's ugly, or it's just to say she looks very, very different than she did. I would not have recognized her. In fact, I didn't.
She spent a good deal on that show that Ashley always makes me watch at night.
Which one? Criminal
Minds.
Oh, yeah? See, when people end up on those shows, like the broadcast type shows, L.A. Law, I don't know what the one with Ice-T is, all of those different CSI, when they end up on those shows, they're sort of in no man's land to me. And I don't know what's happening over there. And I'm like, oh, you know who I saw that's back on one of those shows? Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh, I just had a story about him. That apparently inspired a list of celebrities that dated teenagers that are also celebrities.
Yeah.
Did you know
popped
that?
up and I was like, he's there. Wilmer Valderrama's still out there. You go, buddy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have so much to get into. I've got clips galore that we need to go over here. We'll go everywhere from a bad new law to a strange way to fight out floodwaters and a whole lot of other places on a Share the Show Tuesday. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
All the cool kids are doing it, and you want to be like the cool kids, don't you? Well, don't you? The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Slowdowns on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. Delays due to an accident on I-4 eastbound near Saxon Boulevard. Move over and slow down if you see police activity on the roadways. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on the beach line eastbound just west of State Road 520. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Sunnyside drains.
Water is backing up from my drains, and there's a nasty smell coming from them.
Ooh-wee, that is bad.
Wait, how are you smelling it too?
You should call someone about that.
I should have called Frank Gay. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your drains are backed up, you need a highly skilled technician who's not afraid to get a little dirty. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
If you're thinking about going to nursing school but aren't sure how to get started, join us at Galen College of Nursing's upcoming open house. Here, you'll meet with friendly and helpful faculty, current students, and academic advisors who can help you get comfortable with admissions and enrollment. Plus, you'll tour our campus and learn all about Galen's personalized student support. RSVP now for our open house on Tuesday, April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. by visiting galencollege.edu/Orlando.
Spending gold at Florida businesses just got easier. Meet the Goldback, Florida's very own local currency made with pure 24-karat gold. It's like cash, but without the inflation. To celebrate the launch of this new currency, we're giving away free half Goldbacks to Florida residents. It's your chance to experience spending real gold right here in Florida. Claim yours before they run out at freegoldback.com, and we'll ship it right to your Florida address absolutely free.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG 292557. MSRP 30,840. Qualified applicants to the KFA. 0 down. 1388 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax title license. $899 dealer and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/5/25.
Ready to give up the bottle? Drinking too much and ready for a change? Dr. Robert Malpas with CNS Healthcare in Orlando is seeking adults ages 18 to 65 who regularly consume large amounts of alcohol to take part in a medication research study. If you're ready to make a change, call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 today to learn more about this research study for those who desire to drink less. Or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule a free consultation.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Watch the seaplanes take off and enjoy the lake life at Puddle Jumpers on beautiful Lake Dora in Tavares. This Friday, join the monsters in the morning at Puddle Jumpers for some big dumb fun during our live lakeside broadcast, 6A to 11A. Then stick around for lunch with the monsters and get your weekend started right. Puddle Jumpers in Tavares, burgers, steaks, seafood, and sunsets. Don't miss the monsters in the morning live broadcast and lunch with the monsters this Friday.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. Look, when it comes to protecting your family and belongings, what's more important than the roof over your head? Not much. And that's why I go with the most experience out there with the best reviews. That's Eustace Roofing. Over 1,000 5-star reviews with a 4.9 Google rating with over 1,000 reviews. Providing all of Central Florida with quality roofing for over 65 years. And these guys are metal roofing experts, meaning they build it on site for perfect fit. And they even have no interest financing available. Visit eustaceroofing.com today and schedule your free estimate.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's a wild party. Brews Around the Zoo, presented by Wayne Dench is back from 5 till 9 p.m. April 12th at the Central Florida Zoo. Enjoy 35 craft beers, wines, and seltzers, and live music. Early admission and VIP get in at 4 p.m. Visit centralfloridazoo.org for tickets.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This
Great big hug and show you you're welcome around these parts. Learn more about the show, subscribe to the podcast, and even figure out what Secret Shows is all about over on the website. Where is that? thenewsjunkie.com. They are banning kids from seeing the new Minecraft movie, and we're going to show you why, because this is absolutely crazy. This chicken jockey, I think is the name of it, phenomenon. Sabrina was talking about this, and this is like, it's related to one point in time in the Minecraft movie. And just like in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where like stuff happens and it's a chaotic event, They're trying to do that with this very successful new Minecraft movie. And it's leading some of the theaters to ban kids or to say, like, you cannot show up to Minecraft without your parents because chaos is broken out at some of these places. Like, this story says, New Jersey movie theater bans unaccompanied kids from seeing Minecraft after chicken jockey frenzy. And a lot of these kids are being monsters. They're up there freaking out and throwing popcorn, beyond that.
Who's to say it's only kids when it's the entire theater?
It is a lot of kids. That is a lot of the action. And I've seen on Reddit, there's a whole community where movie theater employees, often young people, can talk about the drama. What's it like to work in a movie theater? Look at some of the stuff that they have shared, which is their experience with the Minecraft movie. Okay? It ain't good. It's a theater that looks like it got hit with a popcorn bomb after this movie.
Drastically different from how it would normally look?
Yeah, I think this is worse. This is worse because you've got popcorn just left behind, all these buckets just left behind, and it's pretty damn nasty.
Yeah, that's bad. Oh,
the
gosh.
remnants. Yeah, and they're like just step in all of this stuff and make a huge mess at the movie. Fights are breaking out at some of the theaters. I saw.
So what's the chicken jockey thing? Is that from the game?
Yeah, it's a moment. Well, it's a moment in the movie, which I'm sure must be related to the game. And people just go nuts for it. And like in this video that I'm looking at here, they start throwing popcorn at each other and the kids are starting to fight and they got kicked out. They ended up booting them out of the movie. Clearly, the vast majority of kids are behaving themselves and they're fine and they're not disturbing people with the Minecraft movie. But there's a bunch of them who keep screwing around like this. They're throwing actual chickens. There's photos of chickens in the movie theater that these kids have brought with them, thrown up in the air to create some chaos for Minecraft.
They go, hey, we're going to watch the Minecraft movie, but before we go, we need to go get a rotisserie chicken so that at the certain point, and God forbid we be in the bathroom when this happens, we get to throw the chicken.
Bet your ass, buddy.
And
you
then
bet your ass.
Phase 3,
profit. Yeah. They're having a tough time. Look at this post.
Speaking of profit, like the movie theater would lose if they're like, okay, no popcorn for this movie.
Oh, yeah,
because
big
they
time.
bank so much.
Big time.
Is it maybe worth it? It sucks for the part-timers that have to clean it up.
I think it's worth it for the movie theater, Sabrina. Not worth it for the movie theater employees.
They must have some little spike in popcorn purchases.
Big time.
For the Minecraft movie.
I would go so far as to say that not only are you right, I bet there's people who buy popcorn for the Minecraft movie specifically to throw it up for this moment. For this one moment.
It's better than buying chicken.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Light bulb, give me the movie theater that gives you an entire rotisserie chicken.
Chicken jockey. That's how they do this. Here's one of the employees
who sneaking a full chicken into the theater?
Yes.
I can fit a chicken in my purse.
Sneaking the chicken in for chicken jockey. This one says POV, you're one Minecraft shift in. And it's got a snapshot from the Superman trailer where his face is into the sand. This says, people are leaving Minecraft mid-movie. I've had multiple people, family, dates, and friends, having to leave the Minecraft movie mid-halfway through because they couldn't hear the movie since there were so many people talking during it. I had to go and ominously stand in the corner for them to even begin being quiet. Anybody experiencing this at your theaters? The answer is yes, a big fat yes. And here's the Jersey Theater. This is ABC News talking about how they have banned young people without their parents.
Jersey Movie Theater is banning unaccompanied minors from showings of popular new Minecraft movie. This after the Washington Township Theater says a large group of unsupervised boys were what they like to describe as being disruptive during a screening last Friday. The theater says the children engaged in, again, what they describe as unacceptable behavior, including vandalism. Imagine, at a Minecraft movie, minors will now, because of all of that, have to come with a parent or responsible adult if they want to watch this.
He's really twisting some words.
Guy has some very fun pronunciation things about him.
The kids are being kids. That's the bottom line. The movie theaters are trying to fight back, but the kids are being kids.
It kind of reminds me of that whole thing that the Bare Naked Ladies had going on back in the day, where people would bring Kraft mac and cheese or Kraft dinner selections from their local grocery store, so that when they played "If I Had $1 Million" and they sang the line, "We wouldn't have to eat Kraft dinner," everybody threw them at the stage.
Oh, that's tough.
And it was
that could hurt somebody.
It was fun at first until it started damaging their equipment, and then they had to shift gears and say, "All right, listen, we can't allow this anymore. We're just going to have a bin at the front of the venue, and we're going to collect all this Kraft dinner and donate it to some sort of food kitchen or something."
But what do we think? Is it wrong for kids to have fun? Can't the kids go, when you guys watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You get up, you dress up, you scream at you scream the words back at the screen.
They don't make a mess.
I bet they do. I think they do. And
I never went.
When the kids have this major hit movie in Minecraft, and they try to have a little bit where they celebrate and throw some popcorn up in the air.
Popcorn.
Then people come at them.
So here's the thing. Now, this is going viral. So good luck with the no unaccompanied minor. But Minecraft, go ahead, throw a little bit of that budget because you're already in the green. You've surpassed what you spent to make the movie, and make a day. So you pay whoever extra, and it's this is the day that everyone can go and throw the things.
Yeah.
And then, because what you just said to me, that now makes me not want to go to the movies if everyone's talking and screaming the whole time. It's not the experience I want.
Let's lean into that. If you did what you're saying, Sabrina, and you go, kids, we're going to have the wild and crazy showing of Minecraft, and you can purchase an epically large bucket of popcorn for this fee, and then throw a percentage of that money at the employee that then is going to have to clean out the whole damn theater afterwards. I think that is a win for everybody, right? I think that works.
Absolutely.
And then, but what they're doing is this instead. They're putting up signs around these venues. This says, "We know the chicken jockey is epic, but please don't throw popcorn or soft drinks at the screen. Chickens don't like showers. Our staff don't either."
Yeah, good luck.
And then somebody put "nah" over the top of it. We're going to do what we want here. This is absolutely unhinged. And the theaters, this is the one in Jersey, they are not liking this. This one says, "Attention parents. We want to make all parents aware of an unfortunate situation that occurred at Township Theater last night during a showing of the Minecraft movie. A large group of unsupervised boys," mark that down, not young girls that are doing this, the young boys who are in the Minecraft theaters, believed to be from Waldwick, engaged in completely unacceptable behavior, including vandalism. We also received multiple complaints from other moviegoers who were trying to enjoy the film with their families. We've got video of this. Here's the new rules. Any minors wishing to see the Minecraft movie must be accompanied by a parent or responsible adult. Unaccompanied groups of boys will not be admitted.
Whoa, is that legal?
That's what they say.
Oh, I mean, unaccompanied, yes, but to discriminate based on the gender of the group of people?
I think they can allow in whoever they want, right? Don't they have, as a business, the right to say, we don't want young boys who don't have parents with them here? If your son was at Township Theater last night, this says, we strongly encourage you to have a conversation with him about his behavior.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole thing, man. Minecraft kids are going absolutely nuts. Some say it's unacceptable. Some say Chicken Jockey's a damn good time. What do you think? Let us know. We'll get to all your dispatches here in just a moment. You can send yours over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Peeking at the markets? Well.
And it's gone?
Well, we're still in the green, but not as much as we were in the green. It's just barely up, 153 points up at this check, depending on when you're listening to the show. Could be totally different. So NASDAQ's actually down on the day right now. Everything is a little wishy-washy right now. So be careful and hodl and do all those things that you need to do. Be safe out there. Speaking of the kids, Instagram users under 16 years old some new rules for you. You're not going to be able to live stream any longer without parental approval.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that. Their teen account for Instagram was launched in September to give parents more options. Now, teens under 16 cannot use Instagram Live. Good. That's a smart decision. They shouldn't be able to unless parents give permission. They also need permission to turn off our feature that blurs images containing suspected nudity. Why? This should just be default. If you didn't follow that, Instagram users under 16 will not be able to unblur nudity in direct messages. Yeah?
Okay.
I mean, should they?
It's a problem if they are able to unblur the nudity.
Should there be a parental setting that allows them to unblur the nudity? They're 16 years old. They should never be able to unblur the nudity. We shouldn't let them have that option with parents or without parents.
How's Snapchat? Any of these rules?
I don't know, but that's the problem, actually. That's where most of the younger people are, I think, at this point in time. So they've got more protections in place, but that's what they're saying, at least for the moment. Let's get a couple of dispatches in here real quick. Let's see what's going on in your world. Sinister is talking about Minecraft and the Minecraft viewing experience, which I don't know if it was good or bad. Let's check in.
Hey, junkies. So, yeah, I went to the Minecraft movie this weekend with my kids. It was completely sold out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was super loud, reminded me of Rocky Horror Picture Show, kids screaming out all the lines, tons of laughing. I thought it was kind of fun being an old school Rocky Horror Picture fan. But it was a disaster. There was popcorn everywhere, sodas left all over, melted candy on the seats.
Oh.
I felt really bad for the theater crew. So have a good day. Bye.
Poor kids. And most of them are kids out there cleaning that stuff up.
If the kids are screaming along the lines, does that mean this is an additional viewing of the movie? Or does the movie include things in Minecraft that are already kind of established?
I think they got memes.
Yeah.
That's my guess here. I think it's like stuff that they know.
It was probably, that first week or opening weekend, the video game fans said something. But now, anyone who's never even played the game knows that that's the thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah, and it's getting worse, obviously. Here's Missy talking about this.
Hey, junkies. I took my daughter and a friend of hers to see Minecraft on Friday, and it was good from what I could hear of it.
Oh, wow.
The boys in the audience were completely unruly, and their parents really should be ashamed of them. It was awful. There was cursing, screaming, throwing of drinks and cups and popcorn. It was just an awful, awful experience.
That's my take on that.
That's no fun.
Have a great day, junkies.
All right, here's the question, though. If we were 15 right now, 13, 14, 15 right now, would we be doing this in the theaters too?
I don't know. When we were
probably
that
right.
age, I was just trying to make out for the entirety of the movie. I never had a movie that I could think of that we did that.
No, you're right. I can't think of a movie where there was like the social trend thing going on like this.
But if other people were doing it, I definitely would have jumped on board. I would have bandwagoned the S out of that thing.
Yeah, I've been like, this is fun. This is exciting. We get to act up in the theater. Who doesn't love that?
I would probably even come clean about it, to my parents, and my mom would be like, "You were throwing popcorn everywhere." I'm like, "No, Mom. Everybody throws popcorn everywhere. It's part of the movie."
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Chris. No problem.
It's part of the experience of going to see the Minecraft movie, as it were. All right. Bootsy Moonshine on chat says, my kid might want to throw popcorn if he sees other kids doing it. Yeah, I think so. I think almost everybody is going to do that. Young boys especially, because young boys are horrific. Zephyr's Biker says, video game nerds don't know how to act publicly. Say it ain't so. True. There's not a lot of things you could do to completely lock this down unless everybody has to have their parents with them. Or is there? Maybe you've got the brilliant idea that stops this from happening moving forward. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. Lots of you are chiming in. We got jury duty when we'll talk about this new law that's been proposed. Woof! This is not a good idea. This may be.
What
this might be
animal
worse.
do I have to kill now?
No, this might be worse than that, Sabrina. The law we talked about earlier, which is just outside of Denver, Colorado, says you can only have 4 pets. And if you have more than 4, like 2 cats, 3 dogs, which one are you giving up? You got to give one of them up. We got to make something happen here. This one, I think there's a good portion of the audience that will hate this way more. We'll see. Also, that ingenious way to fight floodwaters that somebody got into, and a whole bunch more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Wait, she shot a porno?
Yes.
No! The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident on the ramp from the Greenway southbound to Narcoossee Road. A car stopped on the shoulder on State Road 429 northbound at Longwood Markham Road. Look out for an accident off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound at Saxon Boulevard. Emergency crews are clearing up that accident on the Beach Line eastbound just west of State Road 520. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts, Express Employment Professionals. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's ExpressPros.com.
You know, there's a lot of people still in the state of Florida that are dealing with the lasting impacts of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. And you don't want that to be you. Don't wait. The hurricane season will be here before you know it. Don't wait till there's a named storm to go, oh, you know, I should have fixed this. I should have upgraded that. I should protect my home. You got to call my friends at Reese Windows and Doors. They will help you out. They've got great hurricane impact windows. They're affordable. They're energy efficient. And these guys are experts. They've been installing them for over 50 years. Not only will they protect you and your property and your family, they come with a double lifetime warranty. When you sell that home, the warranty transfers when you sell. That increases the value of your home and it keeps you safe. And most importantly, just gives you peace of mind. Most of these windows can be installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Get a free quote and register to win $15,000 in free windows from Reese Windows and Doors. How do you do that? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Ready to give up the bottle? Drinking too much and ready for a change? Dr. Robert Malpass with CNS Healthcare in Orlando is seeking adults ages 18 to 65 who regularly consume large amounts of alcohol to take part in a medication research study. If you're ready to make a change, call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 today to learn more about this research study for those who desire to drink less. Or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule a free consultation.
Businesses invite you into their store to spend money so they can make a profit. This means that under the law, they have a duty to maintain a safe premises.
Whether it's a leak on the floor, bad lighting, an item falling off a shelf, or if you're attacked on the premises, it doesn't matter.
Stores have a legal duty to keep you safe on their property.
Our responsibility at Farrah & Farrah is to protect you when they don't.
Orlando.
RC Hill here. It's tax season and I'm freaking out. My accountant says I have too many 2024s and they must go because I'm paying way over appraised value for your trade regardless of miles or condition. And I'll even help you save up to $10,000 on a new Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. Plus at RC Hill Mitsubishi, we're all about affordability. I've got over 200 certified used cars to choose from with rates as low as 0%. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Visit me at rchill.com.
Credit and $10 down required bank approval.
Galen College of Nursing is opening a new campus in Orlando, bringing our now approach to nursing education to Central Florida. With the on-demand resources you need, we'll do everything we can to support you right now. Learn more at galencollege.edu/Orlando.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts.
So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Chill lakeside dining featuring unique dishes and burgers at Puddle Jumpers on beautiful Lake Dora in Tavares. This Friday, join the monsters in the morning at Puddle Jumpers for some big dumb fun during our live lakeside broadcast, 6A to 11A. Then stick around for lunch with the monsters and get your weekend started right. Puddle Jumpers in Tavares, signature dishes and cocktails by the lake. Don't miss the Monsters in the Morning live broadcast and lunch with the monsters this Friday.
This is anybody here getting a wedding invitation in the mail. Ready? When? What weekend have you stolen from me?
Dane Cook, live. Hard Rock Live, Orlando. Friday, October 17th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
If it's important to you, it's on, and probably being mocked by.
And I promise everything teased will be paid off as best as is possible. And we also have the arresting charging documents for that stabbing. Remember the story we talked about? The story we talked about, I think, was it last week, was about this young kid who stabbed another kid in the heart. And then he died at like a
track meet.
Yeah, like a track meet sort of event. And there were people coming out immediately and going, throw him behind bars, murder. And then now there's some people coming out and going, whoa, not so fast. He didn't do anything wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Now we have the actual police documents. So we'll read through those in jury duty and see for the first time, not what reports are saying or anything, but like what the actual police documents actually say in that case. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's get caught up on some feedback very quickly. This is Bo, and it says about non-woke musicals. I guess we talked about that last week where we were like, is there such thing as a non-woke musical? Because they were trying to find stuff for this venue in New York where they were working out all the woke, according to the Trump administration. Good afternoon, Junkie team. Just catching up. But in regard to non-woke Americana musicals, look no further from a conservative-ish gay. Here's the guide for you. Here's a few off the top of my head. He sent a penis
picture, didn't he?
He says, Grease. All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Tell me about it, Stud.
In the Heights. I don't know that one. Here's a good one.
The Heights is the
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, I thought it was the Sexual Awakening.
No,
it's Spring Awakening. What am I talking about?
In the Heights is about like it's a story from Lin-Manuel Miranda. It was the first one that he won a bunch of awards for before Hamilton, and it was all like people of Hispanic origin. And it was a story about like this neighborhood where everybody was trying to win the lottery and this and that. And a couple of years ago, some school paid for the rights to perform it, but it was all white kids. And there was a whole there was a whole TikTok like series on it where they were like making fun of how bad these white kids did at it, and they called it In the Whites.
Well, hold on.
Perfect.
Did they do a bad job? Or was it just because they were a bunch of crackers?
It was kind of cringe, yeah.
Was it? All right. Little Shop of Horrors, Bo says. That's cool. I like that. The Waitress, not familiar with that. And actually, he says, Legally Blonde the musical. Killer soundtrack. Anyways, always love you guys and keep up the great work, says Bo. Thank you for the email, Bo. Nicholas
Thank
says,
you, conservative-ish gay.
about the Bondsman. Yo, guys, Sabrina said this show is about a bounty hunter who comes back to life like a zombie and kills his family or some craziness. Please check out the trailer on Prime because it's way more in-depth and off the track from how Sabrina explained it on the next episode. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great show, Nicholas says of The Bondsman. I don't know anything about The Bondsman.
Neither do I. I imagine it was part of the boob tube, and so I have just read the blurb about it. Who's starring in it?
I don't know.
That's probably why I read it.
Yeah, to see if you can find out who that's from, because I all I've seen is like maybe the cover art for it or something. Steve says, "Hey, news junkies, I'm a podcast listener."
Kevin Bacon.
That's right, Kevin Bacon. I'm always a little behind. Unfortunately, I have a firsthand experience with traumatic brain injuries. He says he's talking about the whole captain.
Oh, that's why
thing.
he's always a little behind.
Boat captain. He says one of my sons was driving a Hummer in Afghanistan when he struck an IED. Fortunately, nobody in the vehicle died, but there were many significant injuries. My son was hospitalized for almost a year because he nearly lost his right leg along with TBI. While he'll have issues with his leg for the rest of his life, the TBI is much worse, traumatic brain injury, because it's not visible. He looks fine and some days he acts fine, but there are far too many days that are dark, massive mood swings, depression, etc., possibly side effects from the meds. Absolutely, but a normal life is not possible. He's 100% disabled according to the Army, which only means he's no longer capable of doing his Army job anymore. He's definitely able-bodied. To be clear, the actions of the captain are positively reprehensible, but if he legitimately suffered a TBI, that could definitely be the reason he lashed out. I'm saying, is it? Or is it that this person is a jerk and just constantly uses that as an excuse for their poor behavior?
I kind of have a follow-up question for this emailer. Like, the lashing out happens. Now, when he comes down from the lash out, is he aware of what he did?
Right.
Is there any sort of remorse or even just acknowledgement? So maybe when you're in that situation again, those people around you are aware, versus this captain, from what I understand, 365 on the mother effing waters. I forget the direct quote.
300 days a year.
300 days a year.
300 days a year on the waters. Yeah.
So he's going to have to make up for that night he spent in jail.
Yeah, it's true. One night, and then he's out now, right? And the most hated man on the internet still. People are not liking that captain dude. But the more controversial take that I have on that is I truly believe, specifically with military disability, I think they are not scrutinizing that close enough. I think there seem to me to be people at 100% of disability who really aren't, right? And I think that should be very strict guidelines that they follow for that. And we don't make it so somebody's like constantly on military disability, and then you see them and you go, what is it that you can't do here? I don't buy, like, yes, there's going to be some people who get shell shock or PTSD or whatever you want to call it. But
some people call it battle fatigue.
I also think there's people who hide under that as a guise to just excuse bad behavior or sometimes enriching themselves, right? It's like people after an accident. While there are people who legitimately are injured from an accident and who need help, et cetera, there are also people who after an accident go grabbing their neck and they put the big neck brace on and okay. All right,
I'll
come on.
see you on TV very soon.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, I think. Maybe we got a bigger problem there. But I don't know. It's hard to argue against because people will be like, how could you? These are our veterans with the
why don't you
brain
shut
injury.
up?
Maybe. In some cases they are. And in those cases they need help. But I think we do a disservice to disabled people if we just open the envelopes too much. We need to have more rigid definitions, not loosen every definition up, like what it means to be autistic, what it means to be 100% disabled. All these things don't need to be loosened up like people have tried to make them for the last 10 years. They need to be nice and rigid and tight to protect the people who are actually disabled. Those are the folks who I care about, not the folks who are faking it. And here we go. Mike emails the show. He says, hello. I was just checking in to see if y'all plan to have another Pinewood Derby event. My son and nephew loved it, and they keep asking me. LOL, thanks, love the show, says Mike. Mike, that's a big, fat no, friend. Sorry. We did that event. We did it.
Yeah, the kids threw popcorn and drinks.
We did it a bunch of times, and I think it ran its course. We had a fun time. It ran its course, and now we're on to some other things. And moving forward, we're going to have some kind of big events, huge events that a lot of planning goes into that we can put on stages for you where you can go, holy cow, this is some next level stuff. This is really an event. And then maybe a couple like live broadcasts here and there. But some of that stuff, it's run its course, I think, unfortunately. We had a good time with you, though. All right, let's see. Let's work in a
Sweat
couple
our
of stories
asses off
there.
with you, but we had a good time.
Oh, my God. The hottest event, just in terms of weather, that we've done is that. We had people falling out at the Ultimate Pinewood Derby before.
Yeah. And then brackets.
Yeah,
the
brackets.
Thing.
Like, we just had to sit there with the microphone. We're like, this team up against this team, and this team up against this team. And because we didn't want people just to lose once and be bounced out, there was double elimination, so it became even more
And then
lengthy.
by that time, everyone had a hard buzz or sun poisoning.
Yeah.
But fun nonetheless. So good luck dropping that news to your nephews.
It was a big deal and a fun time, but on to the next one, as they say.
We're going to do beer pong tournament.
Let's do this law that I said that people will not like. I don't think you guys are going to like this.
Are you liking it?
It doesn't affect me as much as it affects women.
Oh, okay. Banner day.
But this is a bad one for you. It's Senate Bill 3003. And it's how you know that everything else is fixed. Everything else is solved because this is the kind of bill that is up for debate right now. It says, officially known as Senate Bill 3003, this proposal calls for age verification for the sale of sex toys online. All right? This is from Republican Senator Angela Paxton, the wife of Texas Attorney Ken Paxton, introduced a bill.
I can already kind of get a glimpse of their sex life.
To punish online sellers of an obscene device. What, pray tell, does that mean? Obscene device to customers without proper age verification. Now, call me a little bit skeptical, if you will.
Go ahead, Skepty.
Call me a little bit skeptical, if you will. But it seems to me like some people driven by Puritan faith and religion appear to be putting age verification in areas where they know the person will be embarrassed as a blockade for people to get things that they think are morally corrupt or wrong. It would appear to me that the making adult websites have age verification, which would make you like upload your ID or do something else that people would be uncomfortable with, or making you use your ID for a purchase for a sex toy, which is none of the state's business. Don't care. None of your business. Get out of my world.
Also, we've had a workaround for many years. Sharper image, back massager.
That's true. But what happens when they go, well, people are using that as a workaround?
Where are you going to use this? You have to verify with a small form that says back, neck, or vagina.
It'll be like you're purchasing Sudafed at the pharmacy.
You got a cold, or you got to cook some meth?
You have to sign the combat masturbation log.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Well, when I buy Sudafed at certain pharmacies, they make me sign the combat meth log, and they have to take a picture of your ID. Be the same thing for buying this some of these different back massagers.
This is what this says here. The story from Indy 100 says age verification has become a hot topic in the U.S., particularly in southern states, and revolving around the usage of porn websites. Site owners would face a fee and a misdemeanor charge if they failed to verify the age of their users. Some U.S. states have laws requiring adult websites to verify the age of the users before allowing them access to content. Now this would be for purchasing things that they found sexual. So you want to get sexual content, we need your ID. You want to buy a sex toy, we need your ID. I will again call out to my friends on the right who I thought we were for smaller government. I thought we were for not having nanny state craziness. I thought we didn't want the government involved. If a 17-year-old girl wants to buy a vibrator, why on earth do you care? Why on earth? You should like that.
Yeah,
maybe it'll keep her from getting pregnant. Yeah, maybe she won't get pregnant. Maybe she won't have an abortion. Maybe she won't do it. Like, why on earth? Oh,
but if they do that, you know what's next?
What?
Is probably electric toothbrushes.
Oh, you have to go to that. Yeah, there's a lot of options.
I never knew that until like growing up, and I had friends of mine like, "Oh, you didn't?" You know, and the little wiggly pens. I'm like, you nasty asses. I just use that to brush my teeth and draw.
Well, nowadays they have lots of those toothbrushes.
You could have the outgoing toothbrush become that toothbrush.
Sure.
It gets demoted.
My favorite, though, is them trying to
lower
get
on the body.
the ID for, like, the Great American C that they have at the sex stores. Like, the most ridiculous, giant dilders.
The big one? Yeah.
And they're like, verify your age.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that there are very many people, not a big percentage of people who actually care about this stuff, but here we are regardless.
If there was a store that only sold those sort of aids and it wasn't paired with pornography, would that be something you would have to check ID to get inside? Because right now, like if you went to an adult store? If you go to an adult store, it's all encompassing, and so. Because the porno is there, you have to be 18 to get in, right?
Yes.
You follow me? Right. So if the porn wasn't there and it was just the toys, would that still be something that you would have to? Because they're doing this for online orders. There's already a thing in place. Would you have to restrict the age of who can come in?
Well,
I think so. Yeah, if you have that content.
Walgreens and CVS has vibrators.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
So that'll
Walmart too. Yeah.
What aisle is that?
I don't know, but I was very surprised last time I went to a Walmart. I go, they just have sex toys just chilling out here. 4, 5, 6 of them or something in a little selection. But again, you know what I did? I said,
I'll
and
take
then I moved 5. Moved on with my life because who cares? Exactly. My God. Mind your own business. When we come back, we'll get to jury duty. We got an update on that stabbing at the track meet. We got the actual police documents, the arrest report.
None of our business.
This one is. What happened here? We got to find out if a teenager should go behind bars for the rest of his life for murder or if there was defense going on here, self-defense, in fact. We have that. We have the Menendez brothers, an update in their story, and a bunch more coming up next. That's in jury duty, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Got an iPhone? Sweet. Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, the official partner of the NBA.
Florida is celebrating college basketball's national championship. The Gators rally from 12 down in the second half to edge Houston.
Let's go, Mike. Mo, folks, I'm telling you, we are battling. We have a pool in the backyard and a tree. And it is a nonstop war to keep this pool clean right now. I don't think it's ever been this bad. Just constantly. Leaves and all this stuff. And don't tell me get a screen, because though I hate this time of year, I absolutely think it's a much better experience to have a pool without a screen. The pool shouldn't have a cage around it. A little more difficult, but worth it. Crazy Drunk Cat Lady says, I always use self-checkout and people don't check my ID always. No, I mean, I've had that experience too. And I have to tell you, it's like, sometimes I wish they would. Just please ask me for my ID for this White Claw. So I know you think there's a chance maybe I'm in my early 30s or something. Is that really asking for too much? I guess so. I guess it is. Lynette says sex toys are medically needed. Yeah, you got to treat hysteria somehow, don't you? True story. That used to be a thing. Women used to go to the doctor for hysteria, and they'd go, I know how to solve this. And they'd fire one up, and then it would solve all of the problems. Meaning that men not bringing their women to orgasm was a major problem at the time, according to those doctors. But it's a weird puritanical gatekeeping kind of thing. And also, are you going to tell people they can't have sex toys? Like, you could literally DIY one if you wanted to. Come on. NPWS says, just move the pool inside your mansion, Sean. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have territory for that. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be that lucky. So the pool stays outside where it should be, where the sun is. And it's not even my tree. That's the most annoying thing. There's a neighbor's tree like 4 or 5 houses away that's perfectly in this breeze line. So I can't even barely see the tree, but it's within this breeze line, and all of this stuff is blowing off of their tree and into our pool in the backyard. And we clean the whole thing, get it all spick and span. 2 days later, filters full to the brim, right back out. I have half a mind to go burn down these people's tree. Am I allowed to do that? We're coming back right now.
For our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025 while supplies last. Limitations apply.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Between high society and prison tattoos.
From the Minecraft screening, where you're throwing popcorn everywhere, and just join us, if you will.
Chicken jerky.
And we got
That's
a lot
not
of
it.
stuff to get into. Not chicken jerky. What's the name of it again?
Chicken
jockey.
Chicken jockey.
Chicken
That's
jockey.
it.
My bad.
Stop chicken jockeying, if I could turn it into a verb, and to hang out with us here, because it's time. Here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. The phone number after an accident, 800-CALL-MO. 800-CALL-MO, or go to the website, which is justcallmo.com. After an accident, you need some help. You need somebody who's willing to fight for you against those insurance companies. They don't care about you. They're going to try to rip you off. You deserve something. And you pay your insurance bills all the time. It's funny how when it's time for them to pay you back, they get real cagey about things. Unlock that cage, 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. A couple things to hit in jury duty, including the Menendez brothers update and a police shooting out in Idaho. But let's hit this first. We talked about this story. It's gotten a lot of attention, and it's for probably a variety of reasons. Maybe because the races of the kids involved. Maybe because...
Kids involved?
Yeah, they're 17 years old. These students at this school...
No, I'm saying like that might be a reason why people are talking.
Maybe because there were kids involved. Maybe because it's people do like self-defense stories. Like, is this self-defense or is the guy a murderer? So it's probably a variety of those things that have drawn all the eyeballs to this story. But it's about a young guy, 17 years old. Carmelo Anthony is his name, not the basketball player. Carmelo with a K. Carmelo Sincere Anthony from Frisco, Texas. He was...
His middle name is Sincere?
Yes. Yeah. He was on the bleachers during this track meet thing. And the guy that he encountered was also on the bleachers. And he goes, you're the wrong team. You're in the wrong team's area. And Carmelo goes, put your hands on me and see what happens. And he goes, hey, you got to get out of here. And then Carmelo takes out a knife and stabs him in the heart. And the young guy ended up dying. And that's sort of what started all this. But it's a two-sided thing now. I've heard a lot of people say, Actually, this Carmelo kid, even though there's a bunch of photos of him with guns and trying to look like a gangbanger and stuff, like he actually did grow up in a decent house, and he's just been rebelling against his parents.
Just waiting to stab somebody.
waiting to freak out, wanted to be like a cool fake gang kid, even though his parents like were decent. And the other kid, you've heard like is just an innocent kid. Was he, or did he attack this Carmelo kid? And was it that there was a defense warranted here? Let's look at the actual arrest report. That's what we're doing today. Skip through the news and get to the actual documents at the center of it. So we got Carmelo Anthony. Here he is, 17 years old. This is from the police. They say adult male taken into custody following a stabbing call on the school property. On 4/2, Staley School Resource Officer, Officer E. Cortez, heard over the radio dispatch call out a stabbing call at David Q. Kendall Stadium, and that's in Frisco, Texas. FDP call notes indicated an athlete had been stabbed. The suspect was reported as being a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. I immediately left my office and ran across the Staley Middle School parking lot toward the entrance at the southwest part of the stadium. As I entered the stadium, 2 high school-age students informed me that a victim was on the north end of the stadium by the bleachers. Next, I proceeded toward that area of the stadium. Once I arrived there, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify that witness. The individual was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hooded sweater and dark-colored Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on the track on the north end, and he talked about giving the instructions to keep your hands up in the air, blah, blah, blah. And during this time, here's some important stuff. The suspect said verbally out loud, "I was protecting myself." That was his quote. All right. It should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. I asked him if he had any weapons, and he said no. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence. I did not locate any on his person.
So he tossed the knife?
Maybe. I don't know. While walking him off the track, the suspect also said he put his hands on me. I then detained the suspect in handcuffs, cuffed behind his back, and had him sit on the ground. Then he said to somebody else, "I have the alleged suspect." The suspect then responded, "I'm not alleged. I did it." So like we said, from the jump, he was saying this was defense. I was defending myself. I'm not alleged. I did this. All right. Next, Officer Ricci and I walked the suspect to the patrol vehicle. As we were walking to the squad car, the suspect was emotional. He said, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. I searched his person once again. I had him sit in the back seat of the vehicle. He noticed some blood on his finger, and I verbally acknowledged I saw the blood out loud, so it would be captured on the body-worn camera. It also should be noted the suspect asked me, "Is he going to be okay?" while he was in the back seat. So he's asking about the kid he stabbed at that point in time. Then
this is interesting.
They booked him into the prison after this. Now they talk about this from a couple different perspectives. This is one of the other officers. I'm trying to get just new information from you. Emergency call. Okay. Sergeant Otis now says, "I walked up to the visitor bleachers and observed the victim being treated by the fire department personnel and athletic trainers. The weather began to turn and it began to heavily downpour rain at this time." So like they're giving CPR and stuff to the kid who got stabbed and trying to help him out, and it starts pouring down rain. Oof. That's nice. They said they took photos
Seems like a very
of
small
the
town.
scene.
Right?
It is. I think it's a pretty small area here. They took photos of the scene and proceeded to try to document everything that was going on. Most of these are just saying the same thing from different perspectives of these officers, because when they file their police reports, they each file them from their own perspective. And I want to see what somebody who watched this said happened. So let's go to this right here. Here's the next piece of the puzzle. It says, "On Tuesday, I was working at Heritage High School. I first made contact with Officer Cortez, who was standing next to a marked police vehicle. He had detained a suspect at the time, and I took over the cell phones." Okay, yeah. Then they talked to all sorts of witnesses at the scene. The coach had heard somebody confess to stabbing. Well, everybody knows he stabbed them. You don't have to worry about that piece of the puzzle.
Anybody see the confrontation?
That's what I'm looking for. So let me work through a couple more of these pieces of this puzzle here.
Is it crazy to think, though, in a small town that still in 2025 they don't have some sort of security footage
I don't think that's that crazy. I don't know that whatever they would be trying to surveil would necessarily be the bleachers.
Also, given the age, and I guess depending on how quickly this all went down, it very well could be some kids got their phones out immediately when they saw they were like head to head talking about whose turf is what, unless the words were exchanged and stabbing happens.
Yeah, I think that there's got to be more in terms of evidence, right? Okay, here's the details of the actual incident right here. Let's go down. This says, when I arrived on the scene, I grabbed a roll of crime scene tape from my truck and proceeded to the visitor bleachers where the victim was. While I was walking toward the visitor bleachers, I was approached by a witness who began telling me what happened. I asked him where the stabbing occurred. He said it happened under the pop-up tent in the visitor bleachers. I immediately informed the sergeant where the witness stated the stabbing occurred and gave him a crime scene tape to put down. The following is a summary of my contact with the witness. All right, that's where we want to be right now. We want to know what's going on with this witness. And what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and I'll get back to what the witness said happened in that case, and we'll get to the update on the Menendez brothers story. We got a bunch of other stuff to pay off. YouTube will come into play. I swear to God, it's going to be a wild ride. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Do you do words good? Prove it. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for an accident off to the shoulder northbound on State Road 429 at Longwood Markham Road. There's a crash partially blocking the off-ramp from the Greenway southbound to Narcoossee Road. Emergency crews are working on that accident eastbound on I-4 at Saxon Boulevard. That's off to the right shoulder there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, it's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L0122.
Hello. Okay, I got the relevant part of these police documents, which is pretty illuminating. And I also have some pretty unhinged clips to play when we come back with people defending the stabber. So that narrative is sort of building with people saying Carmelo Anthony didn't do anything wrong. This is what you get from messing with people. That sort of narrative is starting to build. I think this has the potential to be a pretty big case. And I've also got audio from Carmelo Anthony's attorneys. He's the one who stabbed this Austin kid. So we'll get to all of that next. Obi-Wan Obi-Wan Kenobi says people also defend the healthcare shooter. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to my theory is that nobody really cares about any of the things they say they care about. All they care about is whether people agree with them politically. That's it. So you killed somebody? And then, yeah, but I killed somebody you politically are at odds with. Oh, okay. You know, like somebody's in a wheelchair, and you're like, oh, the disabled person. But if the disabled person has different political views than you, then you're like, eh. All right, wheelie. A black person, you care about them, Black Lives Matter, all that. Until the black person has a different political view than you, then you call him Uncle Tom or whatever. I think that people don't care about violent reactions as much as they say they do, unless the person who's dead was in agreement with them. Those are very, very political people, but I think there's people legit like that. Like who will lecture you on how to handle everything, but then they don't really care about it if it's something that politically lines up with them. Tanya says, I'm so damn tired. Tanya, it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. We got to drag through. And by the way, before you know it, we're going to be at the Wednesday point. We'll have Fritz on the street. We'll be halfway through the show. Oh, boy. Halfway through the show for the week. Two minutes. Zephyr says, is this stabbing the next George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin? Maybe. Or Apple River stabbing? Maybe. It depends. What's clear is there's going to be people who defend this Carmelo Anthony kid. All right? There will be people who come out and defend him, so it won't be open and shut. There's going to be people saying this is self-defense. And it's interesting because the races are sort of flopped on what they often are in some of these circumstances. So, I don't know. I mean, I think you're going to see this get attention. But it seems so far to me like there might be a slam dunk case. However, we're going right into the relevant part of the police arrest affidavit and to some of the reaction from the unhinged people. That's coming up in just a moment, so hang out. Every once in a while, it's just me not getting it all the way hit, and it happens. Was it editing that segment? Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Mo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Radio 104.1. Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
I mean, if you don't mind, share the show. That would be fantastic. We'd love it if you did that. And all you have to do to follow all of us on social media, everybody that's part of the show, is go to thenewsjunkie.com/share. Somebody asked on chat during the break, and they said, is this story about the stabbing at the track and field event where Austin Metcalf was killed by this young kid, the 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, is it going to be the next George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin type story? And the answer is, I don't know. I mean, there's certainly people who are defending this 17-year-old who stabbed and killed the other track star kid, Austin Metcalf. They're coming out and saying that Carmelo Anthony was in his right to do this. So you've got people, including the attorneys, who are stepping up here. I'll give you an example of some of the pushback. Here's a woman who's going viral who says, free Carmelo. She says not only should he not be charged with murder, he should be freed. She defends his actions, and here she is.
Y'all not going to make me believe or feel any kind of sympathy for Austin Metcalf at all. He put his hands on that young man when he should have kept them hands to himself. When the young man told him, touch me and see, you better not touch me, that meant that I don't want you in my space. I don't want you touching me. Rosa Parks days is over. You cannot think that you can move somebody out of a seat that you don't own. And think that it's going to be okay. And you can't determine how I'm going to retaliate on you when you put your hands on me in an aggressive manner. Austin Metcalf got exactly what he deserved. Ooh. Point blank, period. Ooh. It's time out for feeling sorry for somebody's feelings or feeling emotional about somebody's feelings. Austin Metcalf should have kept his damn hands to himself.
All right, so she says he put his hands on him. He got what he deserved. You put your hands on me, I can't tell you what I'm going to do. But that's not how the world works. That's not how the law works. You can't do that. You can't go, put your hands on me, see what happens, and then you stab somebody. Well, if you do that, you're not acting within self-defense. You have to actually feel like your life is in danger. It can't be like...
What state are you in?
It can't be like, I told you not to disrespect me, because that's what this is about. Make no mistake. This is all about respect and that kind of stuff. This can't be about, did you disrespect me, or did I warn you, don't put your hands on me? And then you put your hands on me, like put your hands on my shoulder or something, and I stab you. Well, you did what I told you not. You can't do that. It's not how the law works.
You know what I think this is going to turn into? Not so much Trayvon, but the river stabbing.
It's a lot like that. It's very much like that, where, in fact, it has a knife in it. This is a stabbing death. And
a confrontation. I'm just very curious why there is not footage.
Yes, because that, for folks who don't know, there was a story that we covered. It was a pretty big story for a little while, and it happened on Apple River. And it was called the Apple River stabbing. And it was this guy who was a little bit older, had some drinks in him, I believe, and he got into a confrontation with these younger kids who were little broing him and kind of making fun of him and stuff. And he pulled out a knife because they kind of surrounded him and started stabbing them. And the question was, did you really fear for your life? A jury of his peers said no. And they were even kind of coming in around him and encroaching in his territory. And they said, no, you murdered this person. You didn't need to do this. So what about Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony? Here's the police report talking exactly about what went down before the stabbing. All right, this is from Officer Wetzel Taylor. It says, on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, I, Officer Wetzel, was assigned to work patrol in the city of Frisco, Texas. Approximately 10 and 2 hours, I responded to the report of a stabbing at David Kuykendall Stadium on 7th Street. The original call note said an athlete had been stabbed in the chest and that the suspect that stabbed the victim goes to Centennial High School. Athletic trainers were on site and were providing care to the victim and advised he was not conscious and not breathing. So Austin was dead at that point, pretty much. The notes also indicated the suspect was a black male with a goatee and short hair wearing Centennial gear. I arrived on scene at approximately 10:06 hours. So he could see that Austin could see from Carmelo's outfit that he was from another school. He could see Centennial High School on his outfit. The cop continues, when I arrived on the scene, I grabbed a roll of crime scene tape from my trunk and proceeded to the visitor bleachers where we were dispatched to where the victim was. While I was walking toward the visitors bleachers, I was approached by a witness describing himself as, and then it's redacted. That witness began telling me what happened. I asked him where the stabbing occurred. The witness said it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed the sergeant where the witness said the stabbing had occurred. Excuse me. The following is a summary of what this witness said. All right. The victims. Okay. Austin. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside. He proceeded to tell Austin, that's Austin Metcalf, the guy who got stabbed to death, touch me and see what happens. No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. And then he told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what the witness said was a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everybody to get help. The witness advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial Track member was friends with him and he could identify him, blah, blah, blah. Then was instructed to start a crime scene log. So here's the biggest problem. 4 words, all right? It says, no one really thought Anthony had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. And then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later. That's the problem. Yeah. Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what they said was a knife. So did he hit him?
One witness account? It seems like a lot more people were there.
There are, and there's more witness accounts too, but this is the main one of somebody saying exactly what happened between these two.
Should it matter that nobody thought? Well, nobody actually thought he had a weapon on him. Does that even factor in?
No, I don't think so. That's just to say, like, we didn't think if he really touched him, he would stab him. The point is, are you able to defend yourself, and are you able to use lethal means? That's it. Like, that's the only thing that's going to matter. I guess here is Carmelo Anthony. That's the stabber. Here's his attorney.
Retained this morning, defense attorney Derek Walpole agreed to speak on behalf of Carmelo Anthony's family.
I know that my client said that it was self-defense. I don't have any reason to disbelieve that, but I needed to develop facts and talk to people and figure out what's going on before I make any statements about what I think happened. I don't have any reason to think it wasn't self-defense at this time.
All right, so he's just saying my client said it was self-defense. I don't have any reason not to think that. That's pretty basic boilerplate stuff.
Word that they knew each other or of each other?
I don't think so. No, I don't think they knew each other. But those two names are going to be round and round, and his parents and his supporters, like that woman you just heard, are going to be supporting him and going, Carmelo Anthony said, don't put your hands on me, and he put my hands on me. And Austin Metcalf and his family are saying, yeah, but you can't kill somebody over that. Of course, race and all these other things come into play as people watch this one, so we'll keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, the Menendez brothers, they say they're cautiously hopeful that they will be released. My brother and I are cautiously hopeful, says Lyle Menendez, now 57.
How many times have we heard that?
For years, they've been cautiously hopeful.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like at all a possibility until
now.
The Netflix special and the guy that was he started a bill, but then he got replaced when the election happened. They were talking about it. It was starting to seem like there could be a day where you see the Menendez brothers get out of jail early.
Yeah, it is going to come to this meeting. And what happens in this meeting, and they think they got a chance, but we shall see what ends up happening here. Let's work in a couple of you. You got some ideas, some thoughts, some dispatches, so let's see what we got with those thoughts. Here's Funny Book Boy talking about Minecraft. Hello?
So the problem with this Minecraft movie is that it's like a trend now. Same thing happened with the Minions movie. A bunch of like teenagers and young adults, males, were dressed up in suits just to go see this movie and cause chaos. It's really ridiculous. And you keep comparing it to Rocky Horror Picture Show, but that's completely different. Most people have already seen that movie from the 70s. Mm-hmm. This is a new movie. People are just trying to experience it, and these kids are yelling and making a mess. Like, it's not just kids being kids. It's too much. Like, there's got to be respect for the theater. These kids should not be doing this stuff. These parents should not be letting these kids go alone to a movie theater, especially with hearing all this stuff. I know it's news, but or brand new, but still, like, it's ridiculous, and it should not be allowed.
I think that's a good point. Funny Book Boy says, hey, if you're going to Rocky Horror Picture Show, you know what you're getting into. You know it's a party. You know there's fanfare. You know people are going to get up and shout stuff. Just part of it. It's part of the success of the film. So you know it's going to happen. But when you're going to watch a new movie, you might have paid $30. Bought some popcorn, sat down, get your family with you, sitting there watching Minecraft. And if you can't watch it because they're being jackasses, well, people are going to be pissed at that. It's just how it's going to work.
I would have been pissed that, I bought my popcorn and then everybody starts throwing popcorn. I didn't know this was a movie for throwing popcorn. I would have bought some eating popcorn and some throwing popcorn. And now that chicken jukebox, chicken
jockey,
chicken whatever, chicken gunya is over, I didn't even get to participate.
Yeah, but all popcorn is eating popcorn. All you got to do is just wander around with an open mouth in that place. You're good. Felicity emails the show, emailing to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, junkies, we saw The Nun 2, a horror movie, a very not sexy movie. We were sat next to two teenagers, and before the movie even started, they were kissing and sitting on top of each other in those office chair-like movie theater seats and being really disgusting. We told the attendants numerous times and ended up needing to go to the front desk and complain. Long story short, we got 2 free tickets for next time. But what's happening to movie theater etiquette? It wasn't even a sexy movie, says Felicity.
Maybe that's why they picked it. Maybe they thought it was a stinker and nobody was going to care if they
weren't there for that movie.
My
Yeah.
8th grade boyfriend lived in like South Miami. I'm from North Miami. The only way we could hang out
Real
was
Romeo and Juliet
you
scenario.
better believe it. And both of our parents, I forget the last names in the play, dropped us off, and we made out for almost 2 hours to Alien vs. Predator.
Wow.
Not sexy, but didn't see the lick of the movie, so I can get my makeout on.
Capulets and the Montagues?
Yeah, Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Which one's my family?
The thing is, I think a lot of people have done
for sure.
that.
Thank you so much.
I think a lot of people have done it. It is kind of weird because with Sabrina's story, I know when I was a kid, I was doing stuff like that, which is so funny because you go, like, at what point are you like, well, we've made out. We've accomplished this task. We can stop doing this. You just keep going. And then everybody in the movie theater is like, enough already. But I don't know. I'm struggling with these stories between rite of passage and annoying kids that are out of line.
I'd rather a make-out couple. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten up 3 times to go tell somebody.
No.
But that then talking the entire time, throwing drinks and popcorn, like everyone we have heard from on a personal level, listens to the show, has had an awful experience going to this movie.
Agreed,
that sucks. In the Minecraft movie, if everyone can watch it and there's some kids making out heavily, then fine, whatever.
At least they're quiet or more quiet. But if you had this happening, would there be anything that would lead you to go complain?
No.
Yes.
I'd
sir.
probably just leave.
I paid $30 and I sat down and you showed me a whole movie about Minecraft.
I would leave, but I'd be like, this is why I steal movies and cars.
This is why I pirate stuff. All right, tell us what you think, folks. Is it unacceptable or a rite of passage? This is what's happening during these screenings of the Minecraft movie. And trust me, that movie is printing cash right now. For a little while, people thought it might flop, but they underestimated young boys and how much they like their Minecraft because it made about 160
I don't even think
mil.
they like it anymore. They're just going to be
Minecraft?
tools.
Nah, hard disagree. Minecraft is still mega
No,
popular.
I'm saying for the movie itself, it seems like it's not because it's fans. It's because it's little teenage trolls.
Yeah, they want to screw around and they want to break the rules.
All right,
and
Minecraft, popcorn throwing, stabbing at football game.
Which one would I rather do?
Teenage boy.
Well, I'm going to go with the one where people don't get stabbed. If we have to choose outcomes, that one's better. Unless there's another trend where people just start stabbing each other at track meets. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
That's Emoji Movie too.
I don't want that going down. Maynard on YouTube says, when I was 16, I took my new girlfriend to Universal Studios. Every line we were in, we made out the whole time.
Yeah. And then you walk in that weird, like, synchronized, he's attached to her.
Like one being.
Which is hard to do, but impressive.
I think back and wonder how annoying that was to people in line. That's so true, but isn't it weird how when you're in that moment and when you're like a teenager or young love and you're making out with somebody, you can black all of that out.
Oh,
and
without a doubt.
You just keep kissing the person.
And that's all you needed. It's just like you could just make out, and that was the fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still even happening. I mean, that's an
don't
email
know.
from someone our age. Now it's like, it was so annoying because Mop was happening right behind me as we were in line for the swirly whirl.
The swirly whirl.
Got to get that done before you get on the swirly whirl.
That's right.
Or you get it done on the swirly whirl.
Oh, gosh, that's throw up city right there.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into what you're thinking, what's happening in your world. Miss Rachel is in the news. That's right. I thought she was just a sweet, sweet lady. What can anybody have against Miss Rachel, for Christ's sake?
On.
Maybe they don't like her now. We'll see what the drama's all about. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Emergency crews are off to the shoulder, clearing up that accident on I-4 eastbound before Saxon Boulevard. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on State Road 429 northbound at Longwood Markham Road. Traffic slowing down on Florida's Turnpike northbound before Osceola Parkway. Traffic starting to pile up on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. Tariffs everywhere. What does it mean? What will it do to the U.S. economy? Will it drive inflation? Will it bring jobs back to the U.S.? How will it affect the midterms?
We break it all down. So download Verdict with Ted Cruz wherever you get your podcasts.
Folks, I got to tell you about a great company. This is the time of year when your AC says, let me see if I can still do it. I've been around for a while. Can I keep the house cold this spring and summer? If you don't want to be just guessing whether your AC is going to make it through, you can reach out to Mills Air. They have preventative maintenance that is going to help you out. It's awesome. It's the best. They'll send one of their Mills Air techs out to your house. Doesn't matter what kind of AC you have. And they'll look at it from top to bottom. They'll tell you what's going on, what things look like, whether or not you're going to make it through the season. Don't just YouTube stuff and try to figure it out and just break things more. Reach out to the experts at Mills Air. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's their phone number, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Ready to give up the bottle? Drinking too much and ready for a change? Dr. Robert Malpas with CNS Healthcare in Orlando is seeking adults ages 18 to 65 who regularly consume large amounts of alcohol to take part in a medication research study. If you're ready to make a change, call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 today to learn more about this research study for those who desire to drink less. Or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule a free consultation.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Granger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
If you're thinking about going to nursing school but aren't sure how to get started, join us at Galen College of Nursing's upcoming open house. Here, you'll meet with friendly and helpful faculty, current students, and academic advisors who can help you get comfortable with admissions and enrollment. Plus, you'll tour our campus and learn all about Galen's personalized student support. RSVP now for our open house on Tuesday, April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. by visiting galencollege.edu/Orlando.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
12 years in solitary.
Broke up in jail more than any other prisoner in Canada.
The Go Boy podcast is the gritty true crime story of daring prison escapes, risky bank robberies, and swift police arrests. And the man who fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable to go from an ex-con to a best-selling author almost overnight. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Go Boy, and start listening today.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accent.
What's wrong with you people? Just keep your hands to yourself and these things won't happen. It's just that simple. Yeah, I think that story about the track and field stabbing is going to bring on those F around and find out types too. It's like, look, I told you, don't mess with me and nothing bad will happen to you. Don't put your hands on me. And then you put your hands on me and then you F around and find out. But I'm saying in terms of legally speaking, that doesn't work as a defense in a court of law against murder. You can't go like if I tell C-Lane, if I go and sit next to C-Lane and I said, if you touch me, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to shoot you in the face. And then C-Lane goes like this and he pokes me.
I'm not touching you.
And then I go, you son of a bitch, I told you not to touch me. And I blow C-Lane's head off.
That wasn't
It doesn't
nice.
work. In court, I can't go, but I told him. I explained to him exactly what I was going to do. So that's not how it works.
I wonder if I could, if I hadn't touched you, could I still be like, hey, officer, this guy just threatened to shoot me in the face? Mm-hmm. Does it seem like an unreasonable threat?
Well, it seems like I've threatened you much bigger than you've threatened me. Like, in fact, the kid who did the stabbing here.
Does it count as a deadly threat if the deadly threat is based on a very small trigger?
I don't know. That's kind of an interesting thing that might play out. We're talking about Austin Metcalf, the guy at this track and field event who got stabbed and killed by a 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony. And I would argue, kind of based on what C-Lane's saying here right now, the person who has more of a threat to their safety would have been the Austin kid, because you're going, don't touch me, and you put your hand in your backpack like you're going for some sort of weapon. And apparently the people knew that there was an alleged threat, like he was going to grab something in his backpack and attack him. But Austin pushed again and said, you got to move somewhere else. And then the guy stabbed him. You can't just use the respect thing, though. That's like street law. You can say, oh, man, this is how it works on the streets. But in a courtroom,
he tried me, Your Honor.
Like he tried me, he disrespected me. That is not, it's not legal in the United States of America in any city that I can think of. Let's talk about Miss Rachel.
Hello.
Because
can you say mama?
Some of you might view Miss Rachel as a friendly kids entertainer.
Are you about
teaches,
to present this anti-Miss Rachel?
You don't know where I'm going with this.
I can hear it in your voice.
Usual, you have no idea where I'm heading, and I can't even believe you would just anticipate something like that out of me. That's number one.
Please excuse where I went, and I please also encourage you to go on.
So this bitch, Miss Rachel,
Exactly.
right? Miss Rachel's on YouTube. She's this lady who seems to be just teaching kids about kid things.
Angel on Earth.
But now the headline says YouTube star Miss Rachel should be investigated for spreading Hamas propaganda.
Oh, please.
Over posts about Gaza kids, according to an anti-Semitism group. And they want the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to investigate Miss Rachel.
And Pam Bondi will.
No, I don't think so. I sure hope not. I would hope.
Do you know what I imagine the propaganda that she's spreading is videos of kids in Rebel watching her and not crying.
We talked about this briefly when she did this on her show. I think my memory's a bit foggy on this. I think she might have just said like, "Hey, we're really sad to see what's happening in the Middle East with these kids. There are little kids over there, and I want you to think about them." Or maybe she like defended in a comment or two, but nothing was crazy.
No.
Like literally nothing was. Like if you want to point to
Hamas,
that'd be great. Pointing to like the college campuses and saying some of these college students are nutso Hamas supporters, flying Hamas flags and shoot them into the sun, whatever. But Miss Rachel, bro, if Miss Rachel is being investigated by the Attorney General, then we've got apparently no problems in the world. So let's hope that doesn't actually happen. But apparently at least one anti-Semitism group is calling for it.
I'm telling you, I believe that parents with very fussy babies will fight to make sure that nothing happens to Miss Rachel.
Oh, that's a big one, man.
I've seen kids come out of a dead sleep when you hear the little tone and Miss Rachel because they love her so much.
She's big. Celine, where are we at with Jackson? What's he's watching these days?
Ashley puts on Miss Rachel for him sometimes. I tend to think that she is super anti-Jew, so I was like, no, Jackson, you can't.
Right.
Can't watch this.
Makes sense.
No, she
anti-Semite. Get out of here.
She just
when C-Lane's in charge, he puts on InfoWars. Old episodes.
She's fine. We watch her sometimes. I usually put on like just stuff that's easily streamable. But I know she did a deal with Netflix now, that's huge for her and for parents who have Netflix.
I'm curious what that deal was because she was making bank on YouTube.
She still is. I don't think she's going to take down any of that.
Not a big production budget from what I understand.
No. I mean, those kind of accounts, your Blippies, your Coco Melons, they are just printing money. What a world to be in, for God's sake. So let's see what happens with Miss Rachel.
I'm this close to, like, summer job Miss Rachel impersonator. I have the overalls, I have the pink shirt, and I almost have, it's just the extension of it, the like actual impression.
What's the market rate for a Miss Rachel impersonator?
I have no idea. I just did it as a gift for Alex's kid. And the majority, but most importantly, birthday boy, absolutely believed. Now, the older kids are like, that's not Miss Rachel. And I go, stop talking like that. It's not your birthday.
Isn't that crazy? When your kids are below, what, 7? Below 7 or so?
Lower.
You could get away with some awesome lies like that.
Oh, yeah.
Jackson
met real Mickey Mouse.
That's right. Yeah. Guess what, little
I had
Timmy?
real Spider-Man at my party, and you look at the photos, I'm like, what the hell did you guys pay for? It's all junk.
I've done my fatherly duties, and I'm such a big swinging D. I have brought together the actual Avengers for your birthday party. The entirety of the Avengers will be here. They're stopping all that they're doing, and they'll be hanging out with you.
Iron Man has a bit of a gut, but ignore that.
Look at the camera, just makes them look different. Little kids buy that, man. It's awesome. It's the greatest thing ever.
Hello.
There's a lot of weather that hit the southeastern United States and a little further in the past couple of days here. And one place in Kentucky that I was talking about earlier, they had a weird strategy here to deal with the Ohio River flooding and trying to go inside their restaurant called Captain's Quarters, Riverside Grill. And the way that they did this, the way that they battled this, I'm going to bring this up so we can take a look here, was
they flooded their own store to keep the floodwaters out. That's what they've done.
Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, Sean.
You do. Let me turn this up. They
really flooded it.
They did. The whole store.
And I started the fire to give me.
What?
All right, this is inside.
Is kind of a dreary day, but I come out from time to time and just check on maybe pieces of equipment. You can see we've got...
The whole place is filled with water up till about maybe 2.5 or 3 feet.
This doesn't look like a place that's safe to just waddle around in, wade around in.
Yeah.
Did it work?
It worked for now.
Electrical panels between the inside water and the outside water.
So they're trying to keep the pressure between the inside and the outside, and they want the fresh water that they've released inside to keep out the salt water, which would be way worse if it leaked into their restaurant.
Is he stuck in there until...
he's now I stay inside till it's over.
Water, you might even be able to see my foot down here.
That's crazy.
Now is about 4.5 generator running, and I know all my circuits are up high.
I hope.
Breezeway here, and
this guy has flooded his whole restaurant to fight out the river water.
I'm just curious about cost effectiveness.
Well, they said despite the interruption to business, because you obviously can't keep operating your restaurant like this, Masterson, that's the owner of this place, and Andrew Masterson's his name, says the move saves them from extensive cleanup. Fortunately, most of the building is constructed from cinder block and tile, which help prevent damage to the structure itself. And if the rest of the water recedes...
You got to make sure it's completely dry, though. You got mold.
You would have to. But they're going to drain it when the rest of the water recedes, and then they think, clean up, presto, bingo.
They wait for the salt water to subside, and then they just open the front door and...
Look at that. Zephyr Hill for all
Surf
of you.
on out. Score. What do you think about this? Good idea, bad idea? Let us know. Give us your thoughts. And we're coming back with the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And, of course, today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, the most and least affordable cities in Florida, plus getting buried in space. At 4, we'll do What'd You Do That's New. For trivia, it's tickets to Brews at the Zoo and UB40. And in the 6 o'clock hour, It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Tuesday forecast for Central Florida. And today we'll actually see temperatures fall at least through about midday. We'll stay around the 60s before eventually climbing to right around the low middle 70s, where we'll hover for much of the afternoon hours. We'll also see a couple of hit and miss showers. Most shower action will be taking place further to the south and east of the I-4 corridor. That being said, we'll see cooler temperatures arrive as we head towards the end of the week with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast.
Hi, this is Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk Podcast. Join me for an episode with Alex Lifeson from the legendary rock band Rush. That's the Taking a Walk Podcast with Alex Lifeson on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Great news, everybody. That mortgage guy, Don, offers HELOCs. That's right, home equity lines of credit. It's a way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2, 3, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for home improvements, debt consolidation, back taxes, giant buckets of popcorn you might throw in a theater. And unlike the corner banks, that mortgage guy, Don, has HELOC options as low as a 640 credit score. So get the process started today with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Go to thatmortgagiguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgagiguydon.com.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Jess Hilarious, April 11th and 12th. Check our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see you at the show.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
The math ain't mathin'. RC Hill here. It's tax season and I'm freaking out. My accountant says I have too many 2024s and they must go. So right now, you could drive for just $10 down. So save your refund, because I'm paying way over appraised value for your trade regardless of miles or condition. And I'll even help you save up to $10,000 on a new Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. Plus at RC Hill Mitsubishi, we're all about affordability. So visit me to drive for just $10 down and save up to $10,000 on the award-winning 2024 Outlander Top Safety Pick 7-passenger SUV, or the Mirage, voted best priced new car in America, starting at only $15,900 with rates as low as 0%. Plus, I've got over 200 certified used cars to choose from. But hurry, this deal's done once my accountant says I'm in the clear. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. Visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $10 down, require bank approval. Example, 2.9 APR for 60 months, $20 per month for $1,000 finance. Offer ends March 31st.
What is the cost of doing nothing? I don't know about you, but these months are the highest power bills of the year, and it's making me think about the years I spent without Solar Source. I'm so glad I finally have Solar Source. I started with the pool-heated solar, and I love it. Thrilled that Solar Source now has a pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month, starting at just $99. Want to add the battery backup system for your home? Our pay-as-you-go plan works the same. Start with a small battery that provides critical backup power for your lights and your refrigerator, and then it does all these small loads, and then you could stack them to add more energy as time goes on. It's Solar Source.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Saturday, April 12th, grab your person and head to the Tavares Art, Wine, and Music Stroll at Wooten Park, noon to 6. While there, take the short walk to Puddle Jumpers on beautiful Lake Dora in Tavares for some lunch or dinner and cocktails. Watch the seaplanes take off, enjoy a signature dish and drink, and take in the lake life at Puddle Jumpers. The live music starts at 5. Stick around for an unforgettable sunset over Lake Dora. Puddle Jumpers in Tavares. Unique dishes and cocktails by the lake.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. Hey, friend, you want to get the podcast? You want to catch up on all the stuff you missed today on the show? Do that. TheNewsJunkie.com. Miss Rachel, that Hamas lover, just
Watch
gurgling
your damn mouth
on the Hamas goo over there. Miss Rachel, she's a big fan of the Hamas, folks.
That's a lie.
I think she's not a Hamas lover.
What'd she say? What are the comments that got her in trouble that this place was mad about?
Stop bombing children. Over 15,000 Palestinian children killed total. And then
She's talking about the Israelis bombing the Palestinian kids, though.
Talking about blocking food and water to children is cruel. All that stuff. It does.
Are there people who don't agree with that?
You'd be surprised.
You would think there are people trying to shut her down for it. She does say in the description, like in the headline or whatever, the masthead of her Instagram, if you will, all children are equal and deserve to have their human rights respected.
Yeah.
But I guess since she didn't say Israeli children, shut her the F down.
Also, isn't Miss Rachel a woman in her 30s in the United States of America? Is she older than that?
I don't know how old she is. It is weird to see her without the normal Miss Rachel getup on. Like, one of the things she has pinned to the top of her Instagram is a Good Morning America interview, and while she's still wearing pink,
42 years old,
her hair is like down, and you know, it's just different. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm just saying she's a politically active woman in her 30s or 40s. It's 0% surprising to me that she holds these opinions. It's
Google
the only thing you
so
could have against it is if you go like, these are not okay opinions, which it's always bad territory. I think we got bigger fish to fry. What's weird about Google?
I just asked, how old is Miss Rachel? And it says Miss Rachel, 42. Next thing, Blippi, makes sense, 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Hartman, 75. Next person, Robert De Niro, 81.
Okay.
How are these related?
Maybe it's based on recent searches. You know, Robert De Niro's been in and out of the news for having kids at a very late age.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
He also is working on a kids show, too. It's going to be very, very good.
Hello.
The thing is, he hates the kids. He's just not a big fan.
Can
but
you spell mama?
Mm-hmm. Sun State John says, by the way, thank God, Junkie, the only one that's saying that Israel does bad, too. Well, if it's a war, of course. Of course you're going to have this. My God, and there's a story this weekend about new footage that shows Israel lied about killing people in this ambulance convoy. It's horrific. And all the military folks in the IDF that were responsible should be charged, and they should go to prison, and they should make sure this never happens again. It's not like one side is perfect and the other side is evil. Life doesn't work that way. I believe that the Palestinians have a way bigger problem on their hand with the radicalization of their population and with Hamas being in charge over there than the Israelis do. I think there is a slightly better side of this, but you just can't pretend that one side is good or in every way, or that people can't be critical about this. Like, just because she's Miss Rachel doesn't mean she has to agree with you on everything. You can also say, my kids aren't going to watch anymore, right? I mean, go for it. That's fine. Just seems like a strange target.
Good luck with that if your kids are addicted to Miss Rachel and you're trying to go cold turkey because you don't like her politics.
You're like your kid's going, Mom, what are you talking about? I don't understand. That's not going to work. Does she not post a lot, or does she just keep posting about this Palestinian stuff?
I don't know.
I feel like she doesn't post a lot.
And I don't know if she's really active posting.
Question, was it Blippi that was caught before he got his children entertainment fame?
With the poop stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blippi had some pretty controversial videos.
That was forgiven, no?
Yeah, I think they looked past that. But
not Hamas stuff.
Scat is less than supporting Hamas. So
Right.
it's like it's a balanced scale here. All right, one last peek at the stock market for the day. Pull up, everybody. Pull up, please.
How we doing?
We're only in the green 37 now. We were over 1,000 in the green. Now we're like at the finish line here. We're just barely in the green.
Just climax?
A little bit, but not too much. The NASDAQ is down for the day, but they were up on Monday for the day. It's, again, just no one knows what they're talking about. We're all hoping for the best, or at least you should be. Let's do the final dispatches. All right, we can do that. I think we can. Mm-hmm. And here we go.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Shut your mouth, AI music man. You shut your mouth. Before we do the dispatches, actually, one email. This is from Connor, who says the tips at thenewsjunkie.com, talking about movies, Minecraft in particular, where kids are like throwing popcorn and getting banned from theaters. Hey, News Junkies. Gamble, 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 gamble. You want to gamble. I saw 50 Shades of Grey in theaters back when it came out a few years ago with my at-the-time girlfriend. Obviously rated R, but when I tell you that theater was full of sub-16-year-old kids dry humping, that is no exaggeration. I mean, dozens. Makes me wonder to this day how much they really enforce the 18-plus on rated R movies. I know parents can get them in, but holy hell. Parent getting your kid a ticket for 50 Shades of Grey is a weird move.
Yeah, very, very much so. It's 17
strange.
plus for R, but can a 17-year-old get a 16 or 15-year-old in, or does it?
No, I don't
there
think
has to be
so.
parent at that point.
I think it has to be a parent or guardian. Yeah, I think you do. I'm not sure. I did see Rip the movie theater downtown, though.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was going to tell you.
It's nuts, man.
What are they going to do with it?
I don't know. How do you have a movie theater in the center of a downtown collapse? So there's one of a million problems down.
It's going to be the coolest club.
Oh my God, that's a huge area, but that's a management problem. We used to go there all the time, and they started. It was sloppy, it was gross. The bathrooms were disgusting.
It's been closed for like 3 weeks.
We got hammered at that place.
What's weird about that one is like that building was built, and certain things went in downstairs, and then it took forever for that movie theater to open. For anybody to actually, they built the movie theater and it did nothing for years. So now it's back to that.
Yeah, right. Just sitting there, empty movie theater in the center of an empty downtown. Okay, here we go. Let's do Today Alert.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
AI was right.
So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today Alert.
It is Today Alert for a Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Today Alert, this gentleman right here.
Ed Sheeran.
That's right, Ed Sheeran. While filming 14 videos back to back, Ed Sheeran spent one day off and flew to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to perform with Eminem during his induction. After finding this out, M told him, anything you ever need, I got it. And Ed said, please appear on my show when I come to Detroit. That's how they set up their meeting in Detroit, which is pretty viral.
That's cool. Yeah, it was good.
They work together. He plays Eminem songs sometimes, too. What a talented guy, that Ed Sheeran. What a nice guy. Today, the Earth has a heartbeat every 26 seconds. Scientists have detected a rhythmic, microseismic pulse coming from somewhere in the ocean, and the exact cause or location
Or it's
still unknown. And finally, today I learned this as close as I could get to a chicken-filled day about Minecraft. Today I learned this guy.
Chicken day.
Zach Brown. Right, the Zach Brown Band. I mean, it's got the word chicken in it, so sue me, all right?
Makes sense.
One member of the Zach Brown Band plays over 10 different instruments live. That's right. Jimmy DeMartini. He plays fiddle and vocals. John Driscoll Hopkins. He plays bass, guitar, baritone guitar, banjo, ukulele, upright bass, on and on it goes. He's a talented guy. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show?